Alright. Like I said, not in the business of wasting anybody's time. The Alt-Tab situation was my own fault because I'm a dumbass. I had my keyboard in Mac mode, not Windows mode. And Mac mode does not let you Alt-Tab because it's not a fucking Mac that I'm using. So it was trying to open this thing called Mission Control, which is a Mac OS feature. So I can most certainly Alt-Tab from the game. I was just too dumb to figure out that my keyboard was in Mac mode. That has been fixed. So, yes. Roast me all you must. By the way, how's everything been going, Dave? I forget when you said your wife was due. Did she already have her youngin', as they say? How's everything been going there? I lose track of time, man. I don't know. Why are you fucking face palming me? I swear to God. Next person that face palms me, she gave birth April 25th. Well, congrats, man. Congrats. Everything going smoothly? I'm sure that's a big transition. That's super recent. That's like 3 weeks ago, man. Damn. Yeah, I'm sure that's a huge transition. A lot of different priorities in life. But the one priority that you made sure to keep intact is to watch your boy Stampede G's stream. And I appreciate that. It's really weird talking without headphones on. Holy shit, I never do this. You guys don't know. I always use something called zero latency monitoring. It's a very popular broadcast feature where you hear your own voice live immediately in your own head. And what it does is it keeps you from screaming if you have loud stuff playing in your headphones. So when I talk without headphones, I actually have a tendency to try to be super, super quiet because I don't realize how loud I'm being. It was okay, but I knew I had to be responsible, get back to the USA and watch these streams. Yeah, man. Well, that's awesome, dude. Like I said, you know, hope everything's going smoothly. Hope you and the old lady, so to speak, are doing good. The Ramen Pikachu, is that a global? That is a Twitch global emote. What the hell? Oh yeah, the other problem. When I don't wear headphones, I can't tell how loud the music is until I look at the meters. Yeah. Anyway, so we have some very fucking heinous weather on the way. I'm not going to show the map because that's not really relevant, but suffice it to say, I'm in a part of the world that is going to be getting absolutely battered by storms tomorrow. So I was like, well, we might as well knock out this playthrough tonight because there's a high likelihood I won't be streaming the next few days because of that. So, yeah. So let's make sure that I can actually Alt-Tab. And then if I can, everything else is already set. The scene should already be good to go, everything. I'm just going to make sure I can Alt-Tab. Oh yeah, I finally found my lens cap too. I know I said that was missing like weeks ago. I found it. Could you believe these things are like $19 to replace? It's fucking such a ripoff, dude. Yes, the Alt-Tab works. God, I'm so stupid. Well, the reason why I needed it to work is because I need to put Silent Hill 4 on a specific audio channel. And if I don't do that, it blows your guys' eardrums out. So that's what I had to contend with last stream, was just constantly jumping back and forth trying to fix it. Yeah, now it's good. All right, cool. So we are set. We're going to kill the music. Category's already set. We're playing. We're getting right the fuck into it. Sorry. That language was just unnecessary. Gotta be this one. Oh, so the oh yeah, good question. So the 2025 GOG update is fucking awesome. What it does is GOG has this new incentive called the Preservation Incentive Program. And what that means, in a nutshell, is any of these old PC games that had missing or bugged content, they're actually going to allow the community to fix it. and they will patch it into the game as long as it's faithful to the original product. So, what does that mean for Silent Hill 4? What that means is that they restored a lot of the hauntings that were originally missing from the 2004 PC port. They fixed the gamma and the brightness being super washed out, so now it actually resembles the PS2 version, and it has the dark shadows where they're supposed to be. And they also fixed the audio panning issues that the PC version has always had. So they fixed the audio, they fixed the gamma, the brightness. You can see the little static noise filter is working now. It used to be a very broken effect on PC. And they restored all of the North American and Japanese PlayStation 2 hauntings. I think there were like 4 or 5 hauntings missing from the PC port, so they restored all of those. So yeah, this is a much closer to complete and accurate PS2 port now that they've made all those changes. Yeah, it's really fucking cool. So I like to see that they're doing things like that. Now there is a lot of health drinks. I believe there's also another Saint Medallion. Yeah, the hauntings are the scariest part of this game for sure. Okay, so the most important thing about Forest World is we need to make absolutely sure, like beyond a shadow of a doubt, we need to fucking make sure that we get the silver bullet. If you don't get the silver bullet, you essentially can't complete the game. So, kind of important. You gotta get it. So let's head. By the way, what is the? I forget. There's a key to is it backspace? There's a key you can press that will essentially show you your. Okay, it's middle mouse. That's fucking random, but okay. Middle mouse. Why would you bind it? Why the fuck would Konami bind it this way, dude? Yeah, so you hear how she was coming from the left and stopped on the right when the camera changed. That used to be a really busted effect on PC where you would hear it right in the middle. So that's kind of some of the audio fixes that they implemented. And they've also said that may not be the only update they run. They said there may be another update in the future. So that's cool. But yes, I really like that because it means that even though these PC ports may not be perfect when they first come out, it means that there's room for them to improve them and actually make them way more accurate to the source material. So I'm A-okay with that. All right, our boy Walter's going to start following us here so we don't have time to fuck around. There's something written on the candlestick. Holy flame. Okay, we're going to light this. And then as soon as we light it, Walter's going to show up. All right. The person's head is looking this way. A wooden doll's head. It's charred and blackened. Yeah, so from this point in the game, Walter is going to actively try to stop us from interrupting his ritual. And the medallions don't do shit against him. So you basically just have to hope that he doesn't fuck you up too badly. But I will show a very, very helpful trick for this part of the game. And it is essentially to leave Eileen to her own devices here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alright. So I already described last stream, although it has been a couple days, about safe areas. So there are a few designated safe areas, and that just means a place that not only do ghosts not spawn, but there's no regular enemies to fight. The orphanage, even though it's burned down, is considered a safe area. So what we're going to do is we're going to get like right here. We're just going to shove Eileen and run past her, and we're going to leave her here. But first things first. Let's attach this so we have the space. And then I'll take this back to the apartment just in case I need it. $15% to Epic Yarn. Dude, did Nintendo ever say... I mean, clearly not with the Switch 2, but I know there were rumors swirling for a long time that they might actually potentially bring a lot of their IPs to PC the way that Sony did, but I doubt it. Maybe I've been holding on to something that somehow weakened this. Is it the door? What's the haunting? Oh, it's the cat. Okay. Yeah, there's a bloodied cat in the fridge. So that's what this is going to fix. If you open it, you'll see it. Yeah. All right, nice. Also, these candles work way, way faster on PC, which I appreciate. It wastes a lot of time to sit here and just watch them dissipate on console. All right. My theory is that Walter never died at the prison. It may have been someone else who committed suicide. Either that or the person the police arrested was not the real Walter Sullivan. I'm in no position to investigate what really happened at the prison, but in any case, Walter didn't die at the prison. The man with the coat that showed up here was the real Walter. 7 years ago, he did something in that apartment. I'm certain there's a link between that and the bizarre things that have been happening here. Just a little bit more and I'll have this whole thing figured out. I may even find out that the real Walter is somewhere nearby. Yeah, you were talking about the hauntings. The hauntings are certainly one of the best parts of this game, but I do also like the Joseph subplot because he was an investigative journalist and he was really close to figuring out what was going on. It's just unfortunately his time ran out. His time ran out because he just his place in the ritual came up before he could figure everything out. So that's what the prologue of the game is. Waking up as Joseph in like his last few minutes being alive. Okay, we're good. All right, so we've gotten rid of like 5 hauntings already. So we're definitely on track to get the best ending, which is great. By the way, appreciate the follower jump here lately. I've had like 30 extra people drop follows here lately, so I appreciate that. All right, so we are going to, I like to start here. We're going to shove her. Perfect. And that's just enough to build the space that we need to make sure she doesn't follow us. Yeah, so she did not follow us. And it's okay to leave her there because she won't get hurt. So we're just going to go ahead and collect the rest of the doll heads. Yeah, the pickaxe of despair. You can't get hit by this trap, by the way. It's just there to get in your way. Here's our boy Jasper. One thing that I wish they put in this game, because this is all about lighting this torch, this whole second visit. Jasper is a ghost that's on fire. It would have been awesome if you hit him with the torch and it lights the torch. That's one thing I wish they would have put in this game. If Kojima made it, he definitely would have put that in here. You know. You know for a frickin' fact he would have put that in here. Everything weird it caused in the apartment, the pickaxe and stuff, yeah. Speaking of, I'm really excited to play Metal Gear Solid 2 here soon. I've been kind of fiending to play that game again. Yeah, so you can't hit him. It won't light your torch, but you can light your torch here. But we're also going to grab this, just so I don't take any unnecessary damage from him. There we go. So that'll slow him down enough that it won't be a problem. Out the fucking way. Ooh, that was close. Okay. Now, I think there's a, yeah, health drink. There's a lot of heals here, so I'm just going to yoink these and kind of use them as I grab them. Because we've got enough of a stockpile at the apartment. Look at how good that noise filter is, man. They really improved this PC port. It looks so much better than last time I played. And now, unfortunately, although they fixed a lot of things, there's also still problems, though. One of the problems is, during the cutscenes, when the music is supposed to be the only thing you hear, you can still hear the enemies moving around. My favorite section of Silent Hill 4 is actually the apartment world second time, whenever Resting Comfortably starts playing, and you start to kind of uncover a lot more about Walter's backstory and why he is the way he is. So basically the very end. Not to say that I'm happy the game is almost over or anything, that's not what I mean at all, just that, you know, that section is kind of like the emotional payoff after all the trivial, like, maze-like moving around that the rest of the game puts you through. Because this game really makes you feel like a rat in a maze when you have no idea what's going on, especially on a first playthrough. So I appreciate once you finally get a little bit of clarity there, and you're not so just like, what the fuck is going on, you know? Oh. We got Billy Bob the Ghost with his bibbed overalls. I also like Building World second time because Richard's ghost is the coolest in the game. The one that jerks back and forth and like rewinds himself as he swings the axe. Or the hatchet that he has. It's just the coolest one in the game, dude. If I take one more hit, I'll just heal. Alright, we're good. This section of the game always reminds me of a song by a band called Soilwork called Light the Torch. You guys should check that song out. It was like a mid-2000s bop. You know what they say? I remember I modded it into a version of GTA Vice City I was playing way back in the day. I also modded BYOB by System of a Down into that. Good times, man. Good times. Alright. So now we need to do this one more time. Alright. Let's do... Oh. Perfect. Let's try to build that distance. Shit. No, I can't do that. That should be enough. Kind of mash it and make sure she doesn't follow me. Sweet. I like Water Prison 2 better than Water Prison 1, that's for sure. Oh wow, did you see those iframes? You barely get any in this game, so we had to use them to our advantage right there. Well, I kind of need the pickaxe. So unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have to forego something out here. That's revolver ammo. Yeah, I really need everything out here, man. This sucks. But hey, there's a hole right here. We'll use it. I love the soundtrack in this game, though, for sure. It never gets old.
Walter Sullivan?
That's what everybody calls me, but I don't really have a name or a home either.
Well, what about a mom or dad?
Yeah, but I never met them. They left South Ashfield Heights right after I was born. But soon I'll get to see my mom.
Do you know where she is now?
Yeah, of course. Right where I was born. Lots of people tried to stop me, but it's fine now. It says in the scriptures that I'll be with her. I gotta hurry. Mom's waiting.
Yeah, a lot of people shit on this kid's performance and say that it's like really bad, but that line delivery was really disturbing. The way he said lots of people tried to stop me, but it's fine now. You know, he does a better job than people give him credit for, that's for sure. What's he looking at? This writing, what does it mean? This. It's that lake in Silent Hill, Toluca Lake. I haven't seen that place in a while. I took a trip there a few years back. There was a photo of the lake in my room. Oh, the twin victims. Yeah, you're talking about the bottom of the water prison where it's like a shit ton of the twin victims all in one place and the perspective is all warped. Yeah. That is a very weird section for sure. Any more hauntings? Nope. Looks like we're good for now. All right, awesome. No sync? Okay. So we're good for now. We're going to stockpile some more heals. Stockpile this. And this. And good. No, they were killed with an axe. In Silent Hill 2, it says they were chopped into pieces with an axe. Billy and Miriam Locane were their names, I believe 7th and 8th victims. All right. Yeah, something questionable at the very least. All right, so we need this to finish out this section. Medallion with a disturbing emblem carved into it. It's about 10 inches in diameter. And then we're going to grab this. Revolver bullets are specifically for Richard's revolver. And then I think there's another health drink here. Yes. I'll take that. It is the best weapon in the game, yeah. And I don't think that's by accident either. I think that's definitely a design choice. Alright, we just have one more doll part left after this. Actually, no, that might be it. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh shit, I didn't get the silver bullet, so no, we're not done yet. Yeah, we still need the other leg. Okay, I was gonna say. Alright, stop. Okay. She didn't follow me, sweet. No dumb hits, please. Nice. Walter's walking around here too. He's got a pistol and a chainsaw. As long as you just run straight, he can't really hit you though. Okay, silver bullet. We need this because what the silver bullet does is it downs the ghost of Andrew DeSalvo in the water prison instantly. And if you don't have this, the run is basically over. Whether it's a casual or a speed run or whatever the fuck type of run it is, you cannot complete it unless you have this. So, yeah. Alright, we officially have all the doll parts. So let's get up out of here. And I'll show you guys another cheeky little trick once we get to water prison that involves leaving Eileen in another safe room. Stop for a second just so he doesn't run into me. Nice. Fuck. As long as I can avoid taking 3 hits here, I'm good. Nice. There's actually rumors that this is going to be the next remake, but I don't agree with them. I think that they have to do Silent Hill 1 next. Because think about it, if you make Silent Hill 1 next, then that opens the door to do 3. If anything, 4 should be the last of the remakes that they do. No question about that. Yeah, 3 was definitely a sequel to 1. In virtually every way. Just a direct continuation of the events. Alright, I will stop back at the apartment since we have a candle. We'll try to use it again. Gotta take a sip, dude. It's very, I wouldn't say indirect, but the connections between 1 and 3 they're more under the surface, like references to the first game, a lot of memos, you know, the items kind of reflecting things that took place in the first game. All right, we're gonna need a candle for this guy. Here, I'll use the candle on this one, actually. Only mildly disturbing. Got him. Yeah, what's funny is a lot of people that play Silent Hill 3 do it without playing 1. So it actually does feel like that to them. Don't need this. We will need this, just not yet. But I'll go ahead and get it out. And that's good. We're ready for water prison. Yeah, there's a really common misconception. What's up, John? There's a really common misconception that this game was originally not supposed to be a Silent Hill game. That's completely false. It was always meant to be a Silent Hill game. The only thing that did change is the scope of the project got changed drastically midway through development. So originally they wanted this to be 12 unique worlds. By the way, it's really fucking hot in here. I'm going to turn my air down really quick. But yeah, originally they wanted this to be 12 unique worlds, and then they had to cut it down to 6 that you revisit twice. So that's kind of a fucking bummer. But, you know, regardless of the scope of it getting nerfed, I think that it did still turn out to be a very good game. So I got no problems with it. One sec. All right. Oh, what's up, Iris? Welcome back. Sorry, I was adjusting my AC. This is Iris. She showed up last stream on YouTube, actually, and we ended up having a really good time talking about our experiences with Silent Hill 4, our other favorite 6th gen horror games. So, welcome back on in, Iris. Glad to see you again. Adjusting my balls. Yes, I had to stand up and walk away from the PC to adjust my balls. Make it make sense, dude. Make it make sense. I'm doing great, Iris. Hope you're doing good. We have some pretty crazy stormy weather coming our way. tomorrow, so I wanted to go ahead and finish up this playthrough in case potentially my power is out tomorrow and I may not be able to finish. It might force me to lay low over the weekend, you know? We shall see. But we're just going to keep our phones charged. Make sure we make a bunch of ice so that the shit in our fridge and freezer doesn't get ruined, and we'll be chilling. Alright. So I'm going to show you guys a cheeky little trick. And I want to say shout outs to An Eternal Enigma, because I learned this from his stream. Well, first of all... Oh, you son of a bitch. He's walking right into her. Don't. Eileen, what the fuck are you doing? Okay. How many times have I played it? A couple. On stream, probably about 30. If I was being realistic about it. Probably about 30. So we're just gonna run. Yeah, these things are gonna start flying, but it's still in your best interest to just run. Oh, yeah, do you mean the mobile games that they released in like the mid-2000s where it was like a visual novel? No, I've never tried those. But I know one of them was just called like Silent Hill the mobile game. Yeah, I never tried those out. I heard they were really, really bizarre though. Like the stories made no sense and they were all over the place. Alright, this dude's gonna try to do a bunch of damage, so I'm gonna take him out. Oh, she's right here. Nope. Not going fast enough, actually, Eileen. Piece of shit. Not her. Yeah, that would be really fun. Iris, I'm actually thinking about doing a stream where I find out how to play all of the weird, like, one-off games, because I know that there's, like, fan translations that exist of all those. So you can actually technically play every single one of them, even if you're someone who can't read Japanese like me. I have played Book of Memories, unfortunately, but I don't have my copy. Or a PS Vita. Okay. So, we're going to grab this. I'm going to go ahead and use it. Now, here's the trick. Watch. So, we are going to push Eileen into this corner by holding W here. We're going to shove into her, turn around. And then go straight. That was not good enough. We have to get the timing just right. And this will get her stuck in this safe room, and then we can go do what we need to do elsewhere. So, let's do that again. Okay. If we can shove her like this. Good. Got it. So she's safe in there. So now we don't have to worry about babysitting her the whole time. That makes our life significantly easier. Doc loves Shattered Memories, and I have Shattered Memories on PS2, but not on the Wii. I would need to get the Wii version. Okay, we're going to use this to heal Eileen. Eileen. Hey, he said it, not me. Wow, he tried it, dude. Bloody bed, let's go. Ugh. Yeah, there were 2 mobile phone games. They came out in like 2005 and 2006 or something. They were both super weird. Wasn't there one that was called like Silent Hill Play Choice Novel? And there was also one that came out on Game Boy Advance, only in Japan. Oh, you're talking about Ascension. Yeah, you're talking about Silent Hill Ascension. That was that weird, like, choose your own... Yeah. That was a huge, huge flop. It apparently did really, really bad. It's a shirt with something written on it in wax. Take the shirt. Nope, I don't think I will. We're just going to leave it here and head on out. There's nothing more for me to do. Does he say anything about this stuff? Well, I had like a slight interest in it until I saw that it was essentially pay to win. Like you would have to pay for what they called community points or something. And basically whoever bought the most of this bullshit in-game currency got to influence the decisions the most. It was a really stupid system that just encouraged pay to win. And essentially all the streamers I watched called it out for the scumbag shit that it was. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to support a game that is trying to like force people to pay. To have, you know, some influence in what happens. Oh yeah, we're going to need to clear this out for her anyway. Alright, so this is one thing that I do criticize this game for, is there are certain puzzles that are very, what's the word, cryptic, I guess you would use, and this is certainly one of them. So without a doubt, almost every person I've watched do a casual playthrough of this game, when you examine this shirt, it says, maybe if I wash it in some sort of colored liquid. And almost every single time I see people running around the water prison forever trying to find this colored liquid, when the whole time you're actually supposed to go to the tub. Oh. Dude. For fuck's sake. I really need to use at least one candle for Eileen. Oh my, again? I just did this. Bro, I just fucking took care of this dude. It's back again. I like Shattered Memories on the Wii. I do not like Shattered Memories on PS2. I'm going to summarize everything I've learned about Walter Sullivan so far. He was born right here in room 302, South Ashfield Heights. His parents abandoned him soon afterwards and disappeared somewhere, leaving the baby alone. He was divorced and sent to St. Jerome's Hospital. He was adopted by Wish House, an orphanage in the forest near Silent Hill that's run by the secret Silent Hill religious cult. When he was 6 years old, someone from the cult showed him where he was born. Since then, he started to believe that room 302 itself, in other words, this room, was his mother. Every week, he traveled from the orphanage to South Ashfield Heights, a pretty long trip for a kid his age. Sometimes he took the subway and sometimes the bus. I'm tired. My headache is already killing me. I'll write more tomorrow. Yeah, so that explains the subway connection. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to leave that dude to it. What the? Okay, well I guess I can't because bro won't even let me. Well, it's clearly working because oh, we'll have to get a later candle to heal Eileen with, unfortunately. But that's alright. We can find one in Building World. Okay, so it says you need to wash it in a colored liquid, but even though it's nothing but dried blood in here, you have to soak it in this. You can see white letters rising to the top. Yeah, I really loved the music in Shattered Memories, especially because it was the last game that Yamaoka worked on, but I like it on the Wii because the flashlight controls actually work pretty well, but it just isn't, it doesn't feel like a Silent Hill game at all to me. My room is on the second floor and I had to drink something with black things in it. I hid the sword with a triangle handle under my bed. That guy, the fat one, took the basement key. Next time I'll stick this triangle sword into that pig and take the key. I have not, Iris, but I have unlocked everything in that game at one point or another. Like the katana is the coolest New Game Plus weapon for sure. It's fucking awesome. Where he dashes forward and just chops all the enemies into blood. It's like some battle royale shit, dude. I should do a Silent Hill 1 playthrough soon, because I need to record footage for a YouTube video I'm doing anyway. So I might actually do that whole playthrough with no camera. Alright. I can't do this yet. I need a sword. Whew, good thing I caught that. I need a sword. And yes, I'm not joking. In a Silent Hill game, I need a sword. I have to strike when the sword is energized, dude. I think it counts as other. Yeah. Yes, me and a fellow Silent Hill obsessive in the community named Future Mute. I actually just did a stream with him on Saturday night. We're watching the real Silent Hill experience on YouTube together right now and reacting to it on my stream. Me and him are working on a video about all the connections between Silent Hill 1 and 3. It's going to go as in-depth as we possibly can. Because there's a lot more than people realize, and that's why we're making the video. I think wandering around sometimes is the intention. It adds to the feeling of isolation and purgatory. Oh yeah, what'd you think about the Resident Evil save theme video, by the way? If you checked it out. He's like, prepare for the ritual. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be an awesome video. I might actually take a few days after today, as long as we don't get too battered by this weather. I might actually take a few days after today to try to grind it out and make just a ton of progress on it, as much as I possibly can. Because realistically, as long as my voice is working, then I'm good. Alright, so what we're gonna do is get the pistol out. And where's Big Boy? Here he is. Load the silver bullet. Now we're gonna stick him. Bitch. Yeah, I was talking to Iris, because Iris asked me what of my YouTube videos I would recommend, and I said the one where I talked about the Serenity save theme from Resident Evil 4. That's a video I'm very proud of. Bitch. Bitch. Oh yeah, because you said you had university. You said you had an exam that day, so totally get it. You can just still hear him writhing in pain above us. Got him. All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh, nice. It went well. Okay, so yeah, the Pandora's Toolbox album is really interesting. All right, so we're going to run this way. As soon as they all start to run, we're going to go to the left side. Hopefully they get out of Eileen's way. 3, 2, 1, run. Gets them all to this side. And then that should clear enough space for her to go. We're just going to mash until she gets close enough. Okay. Yes. Ooh, that was smooth. That could have been so much worse. Yeah, that's basically the strategy, Iris. Oh, it definitely seems like it's Swan's inspired. By the way, The Glowing Man is one of the best albums ever made. I'm saying it. First time I heard that song, I was like a fucking full body experience, dude. And I don't take any drugs whatsoever. Nor do I drink, so for me to say that. Saying something. Oh, here's one of the restored hauntings. Check this out. That's one of the restored hauntings. Oh god. That almost killed me. Dude, that was crazy. Whew. The Seer. Ari or Silent Hill? Oh, do you mean just me in general? Resident Evil, if we're talking like the PlayStation 1 trilogy, through Resident Evil 4. I also really like RE7 because of the horror movie references, and I'm a massive horror movie buff. But overall, I think Silent Hill 1 through 4 had a much stronger run. Like, basically, when Silent Hill was at its peak, that peak was much higher than Resident Evil's peak, is what I'm trying to say. But Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 on PlayStation 1, GameCube remake of Resident Evil 1, the original Resident Evil 4, the recent remakes in 7, I think are all excellent games. I just feel like Resident Evil had a time period that I really didn't like. And that time period was like 2012, like 2010 to 2017. I hated. Where they essentially tried to turn Resident Evil into this super Hollywood action, thing. Where the movies were coming out and they were trying to make it into just a big blockbuster thing. And I just did not care for that whatsoever. I mean, I really didn't. Still have 4. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. I shouldn't really need much more than that. Let's go on. But yeah, like RE6 I thought was terrible. The Resident Evil Revelations games I didn't care too much. In terms of visual and audio presentation, I enjoy the very first Biohazard on PlayStation 1. Not obviously the DualShock edition with the really shitty music. I like the vanilla Super Nintendo sounding music of the very, very first game. That's the one that I feel like I can get immersed in the most. And then GameCube remake would be second. But Silent Hill obviously had a very questionable era as well. But that's kind of why I say, like, when both of the series were at their peak, I feel like Silent Hill's peak was better. I have not, Siren. But no, The Seer, The Glowing Man, and To Be Kind is like an amazing trilogy of albums. To Be Kind is a crazy good album. I still remember how hype you were that I even knew about the band of Silver Mount Zion. Or I guess the group, they're not so much a band. I want to go back to that time. Things were so good then. The day of my birthday, the cute cat in the pet store, all those balls in the basket. Playing pool was fun too. The door of time was wide open. When I see 4 things, I can't help but remember that time. Alright, best ghost in the game right here. That's fucking awesome. Just don't hit Eileen. You son of a... I said don't, dude. So there is a song that I originally heard called like 13 Angels Standing Round Your Bed. And it's from a group called A Silver Mount Zion. It has people from the band Godspeed You Black Emperor in it. Yeah, seriously, rollback netcode strikes again. But I'm talking about, when I said The Seer, To Be Kind, and The Glowing Man, I was talking about albums by a band called Swans. Like, Swans is one of those bands where I almost feel like there's something satanic to their music, whether there is or not. But, like, the way that The Glowing Man as a track progresses, and he's saying, like, Joseph is making my body fly, Joseph is cutting me on my bed, And when you hear him describe like what those lyrics mean, he talks about an entity that has been with him since the beginning of his music writing career named Joseph, who like speaks through him and helps him write. I'm like, dude, what in the fuck is going on here? Sounds pretty sussy, as they say. Oh, my favorite type of songs is screamo for sure. I mean, there's a genre specifically in the late 90s and early 2000s called power violence. And it has bands like Orchid, Jerome's Dream, Page 99, Seisha. I'll play kind of an example of it here in a second. But first, we got to watch this really awkward cutscene of Kid Walter and Adult Walter talking.
name's Walter. Walter Sullivan.
Neo-folk? What the? Dude, genre talk pisses me off so much.
The 21 Sacraments.
But that's my name. And what are the 21 sacraments?
Don't worry. You'll know soon enough. Well, let's go and see Mother.
Let me go, that hurt.
No, you're not. No, not what you said. I'm just saying, like, look at this weird.
Damn.
Why did he do that? Fucking walk animation is so weird. Swinging his arms wildly for no reason. Yeah, we were saying last stream, Iris, I'm pretty sure you were here when we had that conversation, but I feel like he displays himself as Child Walter to, like, for people to let their guard down. You know, like he displays himself as Child Walter to put them on their back foot and be like, wait, am I really in danger right now? And then the adult version shows up and attacks them. I think there's a candle right here. Yes, we're gonna need this. We're doing pretty solid right now, but we have to heal Eileen because if we don't, she's going to be very difficult to save in the final boss. And we need to make sure we secure that good ending, you know what I'm saying? So this is going to be the Ba. Anyway, so what I was saying about genre talk, I hate when you go to like any YouTube video of like a respected artist and there's just a fucking back and forth that goes on forever of dudes just arguing about what genre the band would fall under. It's like, dude, nobody cares that much, I promise you. Nobody cares that much. Dude, I'm just gonna have to run out of this room because that haunting is gonna fuck me up. Yeah, I'm honestly gonna put the pistol up because it's not gonna help me to have it. It's kind of a waste right now. Like you go into like for example, Jerome's Dream, you know, you go into a video of theirs and there's people like, yeah, I wouldn't really call this power violence. It's more emo violence or like grindcore or mathcore. And then there's like 6 other motherfuckers responding and being like, well, no, I would just call it punk. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I would just call it punk. And then some person's like, oh, it's just metal. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just, who cares? Does that sound wave sound good when it hits your ear? Okay, that's all I give a shit about. I don't care what genre it is. Stop. Continuing from yesterday, I'm going to summarize everything that I've learned about Walter Sullivan so far. Naturally, it was a long way for a kid his age to travel, but he made the trip every week by subway or bus. By the way, every world in this game has a very strong connection to Walter's past, and that's why the subway world even exists, because he would use the subway to get here. Unfortunately, someone else was living in this apartment, and so he couldn't be reunited with his mother, room 302. For years, he continued to come here, almost like he was possessed, just to peek into the apartment. Eventually, the tenants began to complain and treat him badly when they saw him hanging around. Walter began to fear the tenants and see them as obstacles, preventing him from seeing his mother. As the years passed and Walter matured, he began to be more and more influenced by the teachings of the cult. Furthermore, his obsessions with his mother and his feelings of resentment towards the outer world became even deeper. Walter became preoccupied with one particular tract from the cult's Bible, the descent of the Holy Mother, the 21 Sacraments. By the 21 Sacraments, the Holy Mother shall appear in the countries of the world and shall bring salvation to the sinful one. After Walter left Wish House, he moved to Pleasant River, a town neighboring Silent Hill. For a while, he lived the life of a normal student, but he was still filled with bitterness and resentment towards the rest of the world. Several years later, he launched his plan there, the 21 Murders. I'm going to be so FR right now, as they say. So for real right now. I do not care for Kingdom Hearts. If I had played Kingdom Hearts when I was younger, I may have enjoyed it. But unfortunately, I just could never really get into it, you know. Saw Danny Brown and JPEG Mafia like a few weeks ago. Nice. Yeah, I saw Jerome's Dream last year. Around August. It was an awesome show, but the crowd was absolutely dead, and it was a little awkward because of that. Yeah, I don't know, Iris. Like a few years back, I bought like the Kingdom Hearts games on PS3, like how they put out 1.5 and 2.5 and stuff. I bought them on PS3 for a super good deal, and I couldn't get into it. I don't know. The combat was just super repetitive. Like, I don't know. I lose interest after a while if it's just the same combat like over and over, you know? And I'm not even really that big of a Disney fan to begin with. I'm way more of a Final Fantasy fan. So it just didn't really work for me, you know? I think they're great games. I think they're made super well. Like, the production quality is good. The music is awesome and stuff. It's just not really for me. And that's fine. It's not really something I can easily get into, you know? God, they're just fucking zooming around, dude. One more hit, maybe? Shit. Yeah, like, I love the music, for sure. I liked the Alice in Wonderland music and stuff in the first game, but, yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't really get into it. It's a me thing. Played all the Kingdom Hearts games. Hey, what's up, Mad Bottle Top? Hello from Scotland. Wow. From a long way away. What's up, dude? Yeah, we're playing the new GOG update of Silent Hill 4. Really cool. This game actually got an update to make it more similar to the PS2 version, which is awesome. That kind of worked. Stomp him out, and he's dead. Oh, the dodges, dude. What? How do you miss that? Henry was right there. Okay. Surely. Yeah, I was gonna say. How are you doing, Mad Bottle Top? But yeah, GOG gave this game an update. Welcome on in, Dr. Red, over on the YouTube side. And they restored a lot of hauntings. They fixed some of the PC related bugs. They fixed the brightness and the gamma to make it more like PS2. So they actually gave it some really meaningful updates, which is awesome. Oh yeah, definitely, Iris. When I get into a game, I get my $60 worth, so to speak. Like, I play the shit out of it every possible way that you can. Yeah, and I try to do everything possible in the game to try to 100% it. You could almost say I'm a completionist. But you can't use that word anymore after the completionist got exposed as a scammer. That's a teehee. The update's cool. It's really cool. We've already run into several of the restored hauntings, like the baby crying sound with the silhouette in the closet. The like angel wing dolls coming out of the living room we've gotten. There's a haunting where Walter is standing outside of the front door and blood comes down the peephole. There's a lot of hauntings we've actually run into already that were not in the older version. And it just looks really good. Like on YouTube, if you're watching in 1440p, this shit looks clean. I watched back the stream just to make sure that there's no video quality issues last time, and it looked fucking good, dude. Looked really good. Okay. Girl makes the best pork chops I've ever had, dude. Nothing beats some good tender pork chops. Eileen, what in the fuck are you doing? Okay. No, GOG does not have an update for Homecoming, unfortunately. But Homecoming is on Steam. So there was a community mod that somebody released for Homecoming. But it's kind of weird because it messes with the balance and like the enemies in the game and stuff. And the developer's kind of a dickhead. So, like the developer released this 1080p 60 FPS mod, or like 1080p 120 FPS mod for Homecoming. And then he started getting into like these weird political arguments with people. I have no idea why, but he did. Okay, so we're going to use one of these to heal Eileen, but not quite yet. So here's another room where we're going to get her stuck in this corner, and we're going to try to run away from her so she stays in the safe room. All right. We got to push her a little bit closer. Okay. Fuck. I didn't get the door as soon as possible. That would have worked. Yeah, Homecoming on Steam is really, really bad. It's just unstable. But the good thing is you can download. Homecoming is available for digital download on Xbox, Series X, Series S, whatever type of Xbox you have. Yes, we got it. Whatever type of Xbox you have, you can just download Homecoming, and that version is totally playable, looks great. So no problems there. Now, if you want to play the dog shit Downpour, you have to work a little bit harder because you actually have to get a physical copy. And as far as I know, that game is trapped forever on 360 PS3. So those copies are getting pretty expensive. I had to pay like $45 for an Xbox copy of mine a few years ago. And it was a ripoff. Surprise, surprise. Alright, so we're just going to throw the stuffed cat in the sports shop. And we are basically in the home stretch, guys. This was fast as fuck. Although I kind of knew it would be. I don't care about Downpour, not worth it, yeah. The PC port of Homecoming is so bad that you can barely get past his house at the beginning. You have no idea about MGS7 or really... Oh, that's just the snake saluting emote. You may not have one of the emote apps downloaded. Okay. All right, so when we use this cat... I know it sounds weird, it's a stuffed cat, but when we put this stuffed cat in here, we're going to hear this bell, the clock chime, and then we're going to head this way. Fuck is Eileen doing? Okay. You damn Zoomers, everything is done with apps now. Look, dude, I had to get with the times. Like, you have to download Better TTV, you gotta download 7TV and Franker Faces or whatever. So I have all three of them. Alright. She's probably gonna take a hit or two, that's fine. But we have to go this way. Oh, wow. If only I take the hits, that's perfectly fine. I just can't let her take them. Alright, and then we got a lot of running to do. I'm going to wait to heal her till we get to the very bottom, but I've got a first aid kit, so everything I need is squared away, and we have a shit ton of healing in the apartment itself, so we're totally fine. Yeah, speaking of apps, did you guys know? I don't know if it's the case in Scotland or everywhere you guys are tuning in from, but in America, did you know that if you don't have social media, they consider that a red flag and they won't hire you? You guys find that weird? Eileen, what in the fuck are you doing? Like, get your ass over here. Thank you. Good God. Yeah, so they consider it a red flag, and the theory that a lot of people have is that they consider it a red flag because they want to go through your social media and perform, like, a background check of some kind. I don't know what kind of background check they're conducting, but that's the theory as to why they're doing it. What is bro doing? Alright, well, I'm just going to grab this and then just run because... Yeah, it's like, why do you need to pour through my social media? Is it because of political reasons? Like, I don't know. Like, that at least makes some semblance of sense, though, Siren. Like, if they just want to make sure you're not a super antisocial person. But, like, Why do I have to? And the thing is, you have to maintain it too. Like if you haven't updated your social media in a long time, they also consider that a red flag. Like what? So now you're gonna police the way that I use my social media? Oh no. Yeah, and I feel like social media these days, a lot of it is just people making shit up. Like most people spend more time thinking of interesting things to post that are completely fabricated than actually living life nowadays. And I know that because I used to date somebody that did that. Like she would spend all day just thinking about interesting posts that had no basis in reality, just ones that she thought would get a lot of likes. Damn, these wheelchairs are bodying me, dude. God. Out of the fucking way, dude. Oh my god, I've never taken so much damage from the fucking wheelchairs. If you work in something that has to do with marketing, then you must have a background in social media. That's fair. Like, of course, if you're going to be a social media manager of some kind or something, then yeah, you probably should have one. At least that makes sense. But, you know, to police the way that I use it even and make me keep it up to date, I think is very bizarre. This is way overkill, but... Oh, and he missed anyway. Dude, don't chop Eileen. God, you're such an idiot, Henry. Yeah, they get up like instantly. Okay. Okay, so this is... Yeah. We're gonna kill this guy. Bitch. Lasagna, you guys remember that? Bitch lasagna. Took over YouTube in like 2016. I remember. Okay, so we will have one last opportunity to heal her, so I will do that in here. Fine then, I'll make a Twitter and post my real, actual political opinions. A wall must have collapsed from above. I think I can make it through. Dude. These fucking flying enemies are so annoying. I'm gonna let Eileen take damage and just run, because I'm not concerned about the damage. Because I've got a first aid kit and there's another first aid kit at the bottom. But if they crowd around me like this, sure, I'll take them out. Oh, got him on the backswing. Let's go. But I don't think they will... wait, you were saying if you work... But I don't think they will ask you, for example, when you were a doctor, like me. So, you're a doctor? Damn. Casual humble brag. Iris, holy. So I think it depends on the job and its requirement. I hate Twitter or X. I'm happy that I deleted it. I hate mostly all social media now. Literally, the only reason I keep any of it active is so I can talk with some family. Because most of my family only communicates through there. Like, especially some of the older people in my family, they mainly communicate on Facebook Messenger, so I'm forced to keep it up. But, yeah. I think, you know, I have a lot of respect for YouTube channels like Kroby You guys know about Kroby where he posts, like, just, like, the Game Awards compilations and the E3 compilations and stuff. In his YouTube bio, it just straight up says, Kroby does not have a subreddit, he does not have a Twitter, he does not have, you know, this, that, or the other, please don't ask. And I actually respect that a lot. I think these days, you kind of need to be that way. Like, it's just, it's way better for your mental to behave that way, you know? Alright, we got the one truth room, and then after this, I will heal Eileen. With one of my candles. Alright, let's charge it up. I like to start with this one. Oh, that would have been insane if we got that lucky, but nah. Oh, he tried it. This room looks extremely clean, way cleaner than usual. Alright, it ain't either of these. Let's try this one. Nope, neither of those. Okay, cool. We got to test 2 in one shot there. So that's good. Not officially a doctor yet. In 5 years, I will build a hospital like Brookhaven in Silent Hill 1. Let's go. Well, Iris, I promise I say this with no ego whatsoever, but my community's had a lot of good luck here lately. My community's had a lot of good luck here lately. We've had a lot of people like getting promoted and just doing really well in interviews and stuff, so hopefully I can be a good luck charm for you too. Like, my original mod actually became a patent submission reviewer. Like, she had been after this job for many, many years. She actually lives in Wales, and she got it. Or no, she lives in London, not Wales. What the hell am I talking about? So Britain. But yeah. And she actually hasn't been able to be around much because of that, so. And then over the years, I've gotten promoted a couple times too at my job, so. I don't want to say, you know, I don't want to be superstitious, but sometimes you need a little bit of luck on your side, so I'm glad to have been that for some people. I'm literally just mashing left click, by the way. Very advanced strategy. Alright guys, home stretch. So when we get to the bottom, I'm going to heal Eileen. What after Silent Hill 4? Well, whatever we can until the storms hit. So I have this segment that I like to do called Nightmare Fuel, where we watch true crime videos or just disturbing like iceberg videos from different things. We could definitely check out some of that. I love doing that style of content. I'm gonna go ahead and use one, get myself back to full. Yeah, they are gonna be wild, Dr. Red. You're well aware, I'm sure. That was him? That was so loud.
I'm getting tired.
Alright, so the candles have 2 functions in this game. Watch her back.
This is just horrible.
So if you watch Eileen's back, you'll see the bruising starts to disappear. Let's get her to turn this way so you can see it. Yeah. Well, my name, see the bruising disappearing? Now, not all of it will, because she still has the 20 out of 21 carved onto her back and stuff, but... Well, my name comes from an anime, Iris. It comes from Trigun. You know, Vash the Stampede. So that's where my name originally came from. When I was 11 years old on PS3, I came up with that name. It was originally The Stampede and then some other letters at the end, but I shortened it to Stampede G a few years ago just because it rolled off the tongue a little bit better. So for like actually not a few years ago, it was like 10 years ago now, I've been Stampede G since I was about 20. There's a diary on the ground. I had that weird dream today, the one with the man with the long hair and coat. He was crying and looking for his mother again. I saw that man with the coat 10 years ago at this apartment. He was going up the stairs carrying a heavy tool, an old-looking bowl, and a bag that was dripping blood. I never saw him again after that, but a few days later, the neighbors complained that they heard strange noises coming from the supposedly empty room 302. So I took a look around room 302 and found signs that someone had been in there, but nothing odd other than that. But that's when it all started. I still hear strange noises coming from the window of room 302. Sunderland. Yeah, I'll never change my name because in all the online communities that I've ever been a part of, everybody just refers to me as like Stamp. You know, Stamp, Stampy, whatever. And I like it, you know. It's a name that I identify with. I am Stamp on the internet, dude. And I'm totally fine with it. Yeah, some people call me Stampy like a couple of the girls that did my art, and like one of them that made my sub badges, the Silent Hill radios and stuff, they call me Stampy. Yeah, my original editor calls me Stampy. So it's a name that I identify with, and I'm used to being called it, so I would never change it now. It's sticking for good. Stampy gang, let's go. Get out, dude. Don't break my medallion. Get out of the damn closet. Yes, I said it. And I meant it. What's up, Kendo? How you doing, man? Oh my god, 2 hauntings, really? Now the sink is... Dude, again, I'm gonna have to put in a maintenance request, dude. Fucking sink is spraying blood all over the place. So questionable, dude. But I don't have a candle to deal with it, so we're just gonna have to let it rock. Oh yeah, you heard the... So stupid, dude. Well, let's get my pistola back out. I got your pistola, Halo legend. I got your pistola. Only real ones know. What's up, Malum? We got the whole Silent Hill crew here tonight, man. We got Kendo, we got Iris, we got Siren, we got Maloom, we got the whole Silent Hill gang. We got Mad Bottle Top chilling on the YouTube side. All right, so this is the description of the 21 Sacrament victims in order. So the 10 Hearts victims are not all named, but Steve Garl, number 4, and then Billy and Miriam Locane. Of course, I was an afterthought. Dude, I had to read. I'm a boomer. Billy and Miriam Locane were mentioned in Silent Hill 2. Number 11 was Assumption Walter Sullivan, where he killed himself. Number 15 was Despair Joseph Schreiber, the guy that we played as in the prologue. And then everybody else we know. Number 16, Cynthia Velasquez. Number 17, Source, Jasper Gain. Number 18, Watchfulness, Andrew DeSalvo. Yeah, you got to put it in your cover letter and your resume. You got to say, I'm part of the Stampy gang. And then all you got to do is put that on the resume. They say, say no more, you're hired. Watchfulness, Andrew DeSalvo. Chaos, Richard Braintree. Number 20, Eileen Galvin. Number 21, Henry
Townsend.
I think we're good, actually. You guys like my Joseph voice?
Obey the Crimson Tome. The 21 Sacraments. Kill. You must kill.
Hey, we're about to hear that, too. Always had a hard time understanding Walter's victims, especially since Walter dies and comes back. So I talked about this last stream, but there's actually a website. We'll review that website after I finish this playthrough. Actually, that would be a fun thing to do. Basically, what it talks about is the backstories for all the characters. All of Walter's victims, he actually encountered earlier on in life. They just don't realize it. So, like, the story about Cynthia is that she embarrassed him in front of his friends when he was a teen. So when he was in his teens, Cynthia embarrassed him in front of his friends, and that's why he had that's why he sought revenge on her. That's why she was included in the ritual. And the rest of them all have similar stories too, but none of that's in the game for some reason. You have to go to that website to find it out. I can't break down the wall. August 3rd, Joseph. When the bell rings, Eileen equals mother's body, blood. The Crimson Tome. Bury part of the conjurer's mother's flesh within the true body of the conjurer. Part of the flesh equals Super's room. The umbilical cord is what he's referring to, but yeah. What's with this room? It's covered in blood and rust. This is my room, but what the hell's happened to it? This room, is it really my room? It's in terrible shape. The air is so heavy my head hurts. Creepy, it looks like a face. What the hell am I writing? Now, the interesting thing about that memo is that it's everything in order that he says in the prologue when he first wakes up. So he kind of already knew that his fate was kind of sealed there. There's an old picture book and a red book here. How long have I been streaming on Twitch? Seriously, I got back into it in November 2019. I was streaming way back in like 2012 and 2013, but I took like a 6-year complete blackout gap from the internet. So in earnest, I've been streaming since November 2019. Basically right before the pandemic hit. There once was a baby and a mother who were connected by a magical cord, but one day the cord was cut and the mother went to sleep. The baby was left all alone. But the baby made lots of friends at Wish House and everyone was very nice to him. The baby was happy. His friends told him how to wake up his mother, so the baby went right away to go and wake her up, but the mother wouldn't wake up. No matter how he tried, she wouldn't wake up. Because the one that he was actually trying to wake up was the devil. The baby had been deceived. Poor baby. The baby cried and cried when he thought of the mother. He remembered the feeling of being connected to her through the magical cord. Just then, a ray of light came down from the sky. The light was very warm and made the baby feel good. When the baby looked into his hand, he saw that the magical cord was lying there. With the cord clutched in his hand, the baby went happily to sleep. Dude, this game has some really fucking bizarre memos, and that's one of them. Alright, so here is the official cult material Crimson Tome. She who is called the Holy Mother be not holy one whit. The descent of the Holy Mother is not but the descent of the devil. Those that be called the 21 sacraments be not sacramental one whit. The 21 sacraments be not but the 21 heresies. To give birth to a realm of wickedness within the blessed realm of our Lord be blasphemy and the work of the devil. If thou couldst stop the descent of the devil, you must bury part of the conjurer's mother's flesh within the conjurer's true body. Thou must also pierce the conjurer's flesh with the 8 spears of void, darkness, gloom, despair, temptation, source, watchfulness, and chaos. Do so, and the conjurer's unholy flesh will become that which once it was by the grace of our Lord. So essentially, what this tells us is that Walter was absolutely deceived and lied to. They said that it would bring back his mom. Clearly that was a lie, and this ritual is to bring about the exact same demon that the Alessa ritual was supposed to. So that's the real Crimson Tome, not the fake one that Walter's been shown. And it says exactly what this ritual is about and what it's supposed to do, and this ritual is in full swing. We're the only 2 people standing in the way of it being done. So that's kind of the plot twist moment where you find out that Walter's been lied to this whole time. Let me blow my nose really quick. This is one of my favorite songs in the game. It's called Tender Sugar.
It's him.
You've done well to make it this far.
My boy Joey. Joseph.
Let me tell you something about him. Walter Sullivan. When he was a little boy, he began to believe that my apartment was actually his birth mother. He decided to free her from the stains and corruption of this world. At the orphanage.
Yeah, this song is awesome. Appreciate that, Kendo.
Of the 21 sacraments, the only way to purify her. He then performed the ceremony of the Holy Assumption and created this twisted world. Now, he's become nothing more than an
Sniped the scammer.
killing machine. Well, he's dead now, but he's still trying to complete the 21 sacraments. His boyhood desire to return to the bosom of his birth has divided him. Now his child self has manifested itself in this world. And soon he's planning to finish his work, the 21 sacraments. Number 20, the Mother Reborn, Eileen Galvin. Number 21. The receiver of wisdom. Henry Townsend. Even now, it may not be too late. Follow the crimson tome. Stop him. If not, wherever you run, he will catch you. Find him. His true location
I always say Townsend. No.
must be nearby. You
Yeah.
must kill.
Deceased and hanging from the ceiling when you eat molded bread.
You must kill.
Here we go.
Kill. 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 Hurry. She's being taken over. She's number 20. The mother was born. The Crimson Tome. Obey the Crimson Tome. Kill him. Must kill him. Kill. Kill. Kill.
Yeah, I don't think he says anything in that entire cutscene. Well, to be fair, neither of them do, but yeah. Yeah, we were talking about this last stream, like, why is Henry so devoid of any personality? And I think it does come down to the fact that he's supposed to be the receiver of wisdom in this ritual. He's just supposed to be a very level-headed, wise person. And so there's no reason for him to be, like, outspoken. Why must I destroy this wall? The gate to hell. The epitome of nonchalant, yeah. %. And here's the biggest horror of the entire game, is that they were ripping Henry off on his rent this whole time by not allowing him access to all this storage space. So bullshit. Look at all this extra space, dude. Oh my god. Oh, we're definitely finishing the game. We're like 10 minutes away from finishing. Yeah, all we have is the apartment world second time and then final boss and we're done. Yeah, just one last section. Nah, my stream should not go down. I don't want to say anything, though. Yeah, all this extra space for your funky pop collection. Getting really laggy. I mean, I'm not dropping any frames, so it shouldn't be. His body, it's tangled up in some kind of pipe. Should I investigate? There's something in his coat. Keys of liberation. Extremely evil. Just in case you guys didn't know how evil these keys are. Extremely evil looking keys held by the corpse of Walter. They're not just evil, they're extremely evil. So you can actually see some of the same cult artifacts from Silent Hill 2. Oh, he's trying to epically troll me, guys. Nah, man, those days are over. I'm not on Spectrum anymore. So my ISP doesn't fuck me over like that anymore. It's a bowl made from obsidian. It's filled with white oil. Walter must have used this here. A mortar and pestle. There's some kind of residue in it. Yeah, it's a bone saw. What the hell was Walter doing in here? What's this in the refrigerator? Bags of blood and things like that? Alright. So, oh shit. Now that we have our keys of liberation, though, we can get out here. Bro, Siren, I can see I'm not dropping frames, dude. Chill out. Oh my god, killing me, dude. Downright fiendish keys, yeah. Trust me, I watch my bitrate like a hawk. I know when I'm dropping frames. The lock of condemnment? Yeah. God, that looks so fucking jank. You can actually see the pixels on it.
Eileen?
Eileen. Okay. Yeah, much better than Clock Tower 3. Clock Tower 3 has some really jank-ass graphics. Alright, I'm gonna kill this dude. Twin victims. That was a really jank hit, but we'll take it. What? Eileen, get the fuck out of the way. You just... Oh my god, you sabotaged me, dude.
This is our apartment building, but now it looks like some kind of nightmare.
There we go. No health drink. Yeah. Oh, no, a medallion, but I'll take it. Should still help. Don't do it. I tried to fucking... Okay. That won't hit. Oh, okay, it did. What the? Okay, this is a disaster. Really, whose bright idea was it to put 3 fucking enemies right here in this close proximity? God, I hit her so many times there too. Okay. Yeah, enemies on stairs is really fucking jank in this game. Because they always fall to the bottom. Good God. Well, good thing we had that. They could have made the health drink Sunny D and made some extra money. Yeah, that's what Metal Gear would have done. The original Metal Gear Solid 3 had calorie mates in it. An official branded like cracker cookie type snack in Japan. But the health drinks are based on a real Japanese energy drink called Lipovitin, actually. Okay. So it is based on a real drink, but it's not like officially branded in the game or anything. Cynthia, fuck out of the way. Oh my god. Now I did walk right into it, but it does basically no damage when you have the medallion out. Not gonna fight these, we're gonna wait till later. Alright, so here is the... Oh no, that was 205, not 105. Hey, another health drink, I'll take it. Don't need it yet though. Oh. Nah, we'll wait. Yeah, she fucking just annihilated me, dude. I think Walter shows up in here again. Yep. Wow, she was close enough? That's crazy. Alright, we're gonna take Ricardo's revolver. And he's in here. Hopefully she doesn't take a hit. Out of the fucking way, dude. What the? Wow, she somehow got out. Alright, here we go. Best part of the game. Gotta turn this up. Yeah, the Walter copies. There are 6 chains in the way. I can't open the door. It's a sketchbook. Walter's father? Alright, so now we have to basically interact with these, like, Walter statues here. Or effigies, I guess. And once we interact with all of them, those chains will disappear. Oh yeah, I'm gonna grab this first aid kit too. If you stand just in the right spot, they can't hit you. Have I tried voice acting? No, never really had any interest in it. But I appreciate you that you even think I have a good enough voice to do such a thing, because I certainly don't. Oh god, that was close. Bitch. What? Oh my god, what the fuck? I'm just gonna kill him on principle at this point, dude. You have actually? I appreciate that. Yeah, we're just gonna kill him on principle, just to prove a point. That's what we're gonna do. Damn, there's so many health drinks, dude. Fuck it, I'll take this one too. Oh, that was so close. Alright, 2 more. 1 in this apartment and 1 at the end of the hall here. God, I hate how he says that. Get packed. Get packed. The P is just so impactful, dude. The way that they recorded that line is so annoying. I love this song too. This is not on the soundtrack, but it sounds great.
It's terrible. That poor little boy. His parents just threw him away right after he was born.
See, like, you can hear Resting Comfortably and this song playing. That's not correct. It should only be the Eileen song playing here. So the audio still has a little bit of issues, but that's okay.
He thinks that room 302 is his mother. I've gotta help him.
Yeah, just fucking hanging like by his nipples and shit from the ceiling. Very bizarre. This game has some really weird imagery, and that's part of it. That's one of them. And he was, literally, he was. Or she, I guess. I don't know. Yes, this is an umbilical cord that he's kept for 30 years for some ungodly reason. Don't ask me why. See, Resting Comfortably is still playing. Again, that's not right. So they kind of messed up the audio a little bit.
He's crying. Even finishing the 21 sacraments won't help that boy.
So it does need one other patch. But I love the way it looks.
To the room where he is.
Hey, no problem, Iris. Appreciate you hanging out as always. You can always check out the VOD for the ending. But we'll see if we get the best ending here.
That can stop him.
But yeah, have a good one. And we'll be here next time you decide to hang out with us. Appreciate you dropping by as always. Umbilical cord. Walter Sullivan's umbilical cord. The superintendent has kept it for years. This woman. Is this Eileen? Eileen. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop doing that, but we need to get that as a sound redeem for real. We got to work on the sound redeems. They need a revamp big time. I got to get Joseph from Resident Evil 1. We got to get Eileen and a couple others from this game. There's a lot of things that we absolutely need, and we can't continue. I can't continue in good conscience until this stream has them featured. Okay. By the way, that blue notepad is a holdover from Silent Hill 1. That blue notepad right there. Blue and white notepad.
Look here! Look, listen!
True. Oh, look at these. Look at these bumblefucks. These nurses too. Yeah, no inflation. Absolutely not. What kind of scam artist do you take me for, dude? How could I raise my prices any more than they were in the beginning? You guys remember how expensive this shit was in the beginning? It was like 10,000 bit or 10,000 channel points. Holy shit. Not bits. I've never been that much of a scammer. If there was ever a sound redeem that needed 10,000 bits, it would have to be the craziest, like, ear buffeting shit you've ever heard in your life. To just blow your eardrums off. Switch 2 levels of daylight robbery. Well, you already know my opinion about that. I already said I ain't buying that shit. Not that I bought a console in many years anyway, but the only consoles I own are a PS3 and an Xbox One from 2013. That's all the fuck I need. Alright guys, we just have one last inventory management save, and we just kill Walter, and we're done. Don't need this, don't need this. Don't need this, I'm just gonna grab the ampule. That's the only heal that I should need. I do want Richard's revolver. Ricardo's revolver, of course. And then the pickaxe of hope, or pickaxe of despair. And that's all we need. We're set up. Okay. Full health. We're good to go. Yeah, Nintendo doubled down. I mean, everybody is in the depression. Wait a minute, this is no normal depression. When I stare into it, I feel like I could be sucked in. It's like it's connected to some other dimension. Or maybe it's like a hole that once you enter, you can never leave. Hotel California. I had that experience a few years back on PS3. Actually, some of the games I bought digitally back in 2012 and 2013 had an arbitrary 10-year time limit placed on them. So when I hooked up my old 2008 PS3 to start streaming with it again, I was going to stream a couple games on there, and it said the time limit for this content has expired. And they never disclosed that there was even a time limit, so I actually had to end up buying discs to play games that I already paid full price for 10 plus years ago. How fun is that? What an industry we're in right now. Bought the game full price in 2012, don't give a fuck. Buy it again. Alright, let's do this shit. One of the only times Henry looks cool. No one but me is here old enough to get that joke. Dude, I'm old. Oh, the Hotel California joke? Yeah, yeah. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave once you go into this hole. Yeah, Walter's wacky world is coming to an end. This is one of the only times in the game Henry has any emotion on his face whatsoever. He's like, I'm about to end this shit. My dad loves the Eagles too, man. Life in the Fast Lane. One of These Nights. New Kid in Town. Like those types of songs played all throughout fucking long car trips. We're about to fuck this guy up. You hear the final boss music playing already? That's also an audio mistake. Like, it's not supposed to be playing yet. They really jacked up the audio with this update, dude. Now the boss music should be playing, but it was playing during that cutscene. Alright, we gotta stab him with the spears. Oh, no problem. Shit. Oh yeah, you've seen me beat this once or twice. So you're not missing anything. Nope. Watch him do his Dragon Ball Z dash here in a second. He's gonna do it. Here he goes. As soon as he gets up, he's gonna do that shit. Oh my god. Akuma. Yeah, Goki. It's like Akuma. I like how it actually makes like the images of him behind. It like makes the copies as he teleports too, just like Akuma. It's so fucking weird. Yeah, the teleport. He did it again. This kid. Somebody stop this dude. Alright. Now when he first wakes up, he's gonna jump back, so we're just gonna stand here. That way when he jumps back, he doesn't have much of a... He doesn't have very far to go. Nice. Got our first hit in immediately. Let's go. Now we gotta John Wick this shit. Fuck. Oh, you piece of shit. Oh, got him. He tried it, though. I commend him for trying it. Bitch. Oh, what the fuck? He got that off? You let him get that off? One more and he should be dead. Why, dude? He always delays it, like, perfectly. Piece of shit. Dead. Easy. Didn't even need the revolver. Let's start popping shots off. Fucking fatality his ass. Now, the ever important factor, did we get the best ending or not? I think the sink is the only one we left untouched. So we should have gotten the best ending. By the way, on hard mode, he seriously takes like 10 full power swings. It's crazy. He's such a fucking tank. Here's what I like. You know, I know a lot of people do speedruns on the lowest difficulty. I would love a speedrunner that did everything on the highest difficulty. That would be a super entertaining channel, would it not? Like somebody who only speedruns games at the highest difficulty. I think Jigsaw Killer is one of the guys that does that, but not always. But that would be super entertaining. Because that's like the highest of challenges. Highest difficulty and doing everything as fast as possible is like as difficult as you could possibly make a game. Like RE2R rocket launcher runs has to be the most boring. Yeah, it's like you're just sitting there running with an infinite ammo rocket launcher. What's entertaining about that? Resident Evil 7 New Game Plus, you're running with like all the add-ons and infinite ammo Albert. There's nothing fun about that at all. But, you know, New Game Madhouse speedruns, now that's entertaining because you actually have to strategize and you know, do ammo resource management, and you actually have to, you know, really be careful how you do the boss fights. Like, that's a fun run to watch. Village of Shadows is a fun speed run for that reason. Eileen. I should just record myself doing it. That'd be even funnier. Have some of the redeems just be me doing impersonations of Silent Hill characters. Just have me go, Eileen. And have that be the sound redeem. I think the cat has to be lowercase. Unless I just don't have that emote enabled. Yeah, I don't have the emote enabled, I'm sorry. I need Sick Boy to help me, dude. Alright, did we get the best ending? Because if we did, that was a good ass playthrough. That was easy too. We did a really good job on that one. We did this together, dude. We did this together. If she says she's going back to South Ashfield Heights, we did not get the best ending. But if she says she's going somewhere new, we did. I'd be really surprised if I didn't get it.
Thanks. Well, I guess I can go back to South Ashfield Heights now.
We didn't get the best ending. God damn it. The apartment is still possessed, or so they claim. Bullshit. But it's the middle of the road ending, so whatever. We'll go for best ending next time. I've already done it several times. It's not like I haven't done it, okay? I'm actually going to add under the stream, like in the About section, I'm going to add a section about games that we've streamed to completion and all the things that we've done, like the difficulties and the endings that we've achieved in all of them. I think that might be good to throw under there just so people know. Because a lot of times people ask me, have you played X, Y, or Z? And the answer is almost always yes. But now, we gotta enjoy this song. Yeah, like, I won't say how many times I've beaten them, but I'm just going to put like, hey, these are all the games that I've streamed to completion, and these are the highest difficulties and the best endings that I achieved in all of them, you know? Just so everybody knows, and I can just be like, oh yeah, it's down there, if you ever have any questions.
Children dance the waltz, they laugh, whispering hand in hand, just like children like to do. Their eyes, what are they looking for?
Yeah, speedrun world record of Street Fighter 4, yep. Definitely a real thing.
Their song starting to make some sense. Only if you're listening. Dance like butterflies. Shed as a tear right before my eyes. Sound echo the absurd. Hard to explain something that I heard. Now, with the forest talking insects and birds, does the center soil and
Best part.
breathe the life into the animal you hide? It's a great
Yeah, dude, we fucked him up. That's the guy singing right now, Joe Ramersa. Masahiro Ito, the man. He's only special thanks in this though. Yeah, Ito only got special thanks because he didn't actually directly work on this game, but he inspired a lot of everything that had to do with it, so that's why he's in special thanks. But after Silent Hill 3, he had already moved on to being a freelance artist, so... I love the way those last few notes drag out. And then we get this really weird post-credits song. An image. It's so bizarre. Damn, we got a good-ass rank. Enemies killed was gold. Nice. Wow, I never realize when I do these playthroughs that I killed 130 enemies. It certainly doesn't feel like it. Like, is this end screen not weird as fuck? What even is that? Yeah, so the way to get the best ending, obviously, is to have basically no saves and continues, and then you have to exercise at least 80% of the hauntings from the apartment. Like here, we did get the best ending. This is the best playthrough I've ever done. You can see we played it on hard, we got the best ending, and we only saved 18 times. So I actually saved less on this playthrough than this one. So there's definitive proof that I've already done this. But yeah, best ending and on hard mode. So that was the one right there. I don't remember when we did that. I think that was for the October marathon last year. But yeah, that was good shit. All right, well, Silent Hill 4, I love you. But we gotta get you out of here. All right. That game never gets old, man. It really doesn't. Ever notice that movie credits are an hour now? Yeah. I mean, to be fair, movies cost a shit ton more than they used to make. Same deal for games, honestly. Games and movies cost significantly more than they ever have in the past to make, and I think that's part of the reason why they're like that. Ah, man. Silent Hill in general never gets old, but Silent Hill 4 specifically is always fun, dude. Love that shit. Tariffs for the what? Dude, speaking of tariffs, Dude Core, what's up, Pit? Wait, are you? Oh, the Pit. I thought you were Pit SF. Oh, you are. You are. You just changed your name. Okay. I was just making sure. But yeah, what's up, Dude Core, and what's up, Pit? We just finished Silent Hill 4. Like the millisecond you guys joined up, we had just finished. Yeah, there's only one. Yeah, speaking of tariffs, this mic that I'm using, they had to jump the price up quite a bit. The SM7B used to be $400 for like the past 20 years. Go on Amazon right now and type in Shure SM7B. You can see they upped the price from $400 to $440. So now it's almost a $450 mic. And then the SM7DB, which is the upgraded version that comes with the preamp built inside of it, which is actually worse, by the way. You shouldn't buy that version, but that version is $550 now. So the base SM7B went up $40 and the other one went up to $550. I don't even know if it has to do with tariffs. They might have just decided like, hey, this mic is super, super popular and we're just going to up the price anyway. I don't know for sure because I'm not knowledgeable. I don't even know if it fucking has to do with tariffs. But yeah, the price went up. That's all I know. When I go on Amazon to look at my shit, just out of curiosity, the price went up. All I know. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, tariffs are obviously a big contentious conversation right now, but yeah, let's not get into that here. We can save that for the Discord. Dude, what is this, like, bump I got on my head? It's so fucking annoying. The perfume game has periodic price hikes. It's annoying. How have you been, by the way, Dude Core? You just been chilling? Let me go ahead and swap back to just chatting. Nightmare Fuel headquarters. Oh god, just for work? Dude, I have already said I would never do a job again that made me do that much commuting. Unless they're paying me a shit ton more money, I ain't doing that. I'm sure they pay you, right? They pay you for distance traveled and stuff like that. They have to. I mean, it'd probably be fucking illegal if they didn't, right? Hey, I remember you. What's up, bro? Yeah, you guys had a conversation in my Discord server once, I believe. Yeah, I've never worked at a job that had me travel nearly as much as yours, but yeah, I just don't really want to ever do something like that ever again. Like, I did have to travel a little bit, and I just hated it. It just was fucking miserable, man. So it is what it is. I mean, you know, some people do love it. Some people love when they travel for work and they find it really satisfying and stuff. I'm not one of them. How long would it take me to travel 20 miles where I'm at? Well, you know, depending on the day, like the traffic can be really bad depending on the time of the day and the day itself. But yeah, for me, it would probably take about 20 minutes. It wouldn't be that terrible. But NYC, yeah, I know New York City traffic is crazy, so it would probably take you a lot longer. It'd probably take you like an hour to travel 20 miles, right? If not longer. Two and a half hours. Good God. Yeah. And all that sitting in traffic, like you're getting tired and shit. And then by the time you get there, you have to do your, whatever your actual job task is. Dude, I drove in Brooklyn. Never again. Yeah. New York City and LA rush hour traffic are like two of the worst places in all of America to drive. That's where I'm doing inspections. Fuck Brooklyn. Hey, don't clip that out of context. You said it. You said F Brooklyn. I don't mean that as in fuck Brooklyn in general. I got no problem with Brooklyn, but yeah, driving there sounds miserable. Let me blow my nose really quick. This song is fucking awesome. It's called Innocent Moon from Silent Hill 3. Dude, you know what's crazy? We were talking about this the other day. When it comes to jobs, it's almost best, like, it's tough to find the right balance, right? When it comes to jobs, you almost don't want to try too hard right out of the gate. You almost just kind of want to, not barely get by, but you just kind of want to do your daily tasks. Don't go above and beyond. Just do what you're assigned to do for your daily tasks and get out. Because if you establish yourself as somebody who's going to come in and just always go above and beyond and do everything, that kind of opens the door for them to say, oh, okay, let's take advantage of this person because we don't have to pay them anything extra. They'll just always go the extra mile, you know? And then before you know it, you're in this imbalanced situation where you're tasked with all this extra fucking work and you're not getting anything extra out of it. My dad always told me that if the balance of responsibility and pay is not here, if like responsibility is way higher than the pay or the pay is way lower than the responsibility, get out. That job is not working out for you and it's time to go. And I totally agree with him, and I've had to do that in the past, and it was definitely the right call. Working on tech, a few people do everything and a bunch of lazy people. I noticed it in retail a lot way back in the day when I worked in retail. I noticed like maybe a group of 10 people, right, would do all of the work, and then the other 10 people would just sit back and let them do the work. Like we had a group of 20 people when I worked in retail, and we were all overnight. 10 people would come in and do the bulk of the work, and then the other 10 would basically just sit back and watch them do the work and, you know, be on their phones and just fucking do whatever and not really caring too much. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the situation that I'm in now. Like, if you do extra work, it's always recognized. Like, my work actually makes it a regular tradition that if you go out of your way to stay after and work on something, or you just finish a project that's really helpful to the team, they'll just give you like $100 Amazon gift card every now and then. They're just like, hey, you went above and beyond, we're sending you a gift card, you know, and just as recognition to say like, hey, we don't want you to have to do this consistently, but if you do, we'll reward you. And that's awesome. Now, it is crazy because $100 certainly doesn't go as far as it used to. And I know I sound like a major boomer saying that, but it's the truth. $100 gets you like 3 items off of Amazon now. But hey, it's something. It's something, and it's better than nothing. That's for sure. Remember when yeah, dude, remember when you could go up to like the Faygo vending machines and put in like 40 cents to get a can of Faygo? I remember that. Not so much the case anymore. Everything in a vending machine is like $2.25 now at a minimum. $2.25 for like one bottle. Yeah, $2.75. It's even higher than I remember. I don't know, man. We're in a fucking bubble big time right now. And the thing that freaks me out the most is the housing market. Like, I just want to be able to buy a house before I'm fucking 50 years old, you know what I mean? I don't want to have to buy a house when I'm 50. And the thing, here's the other thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is just because your house is paid off, even if you somehow become wealthy enough that you can just pay for a house outright and you don't have a mortgage payment, doesn't mean you're not going to be paying like several $100s a month in property taxes, dues, like, you know, county, state taxes. Like, you're still going to owe. Like, there's a really big streamer, I'm not going to say his name, but he owns his house fully. And he owns his house fully and he still pays $700 a month for it. Even though he owns the fucking house fully, he still has to pay $700 a month for his home because property taxes. So just because you've paid off your house doesn't mean you'll never stop paying for it. That's just the way that it works in America. You never fully own your house. You will always have a monthly payment. It'll just be lower because you've paid off the mortgage, but that doesn't mean it won't be there. I'm reading your mind. Well, here's the thing, Siren, like, I just have kind of resolved that I don't want to talk, unless it's Darkside Phil, because that's a special exception, and he does things that I think make streaming look really bad. I don't want to talk about other streamers. I just don't want to ever turn into like a drama streamer where I talk about other streamers and talk about drama and stuff. I just don't want to do that anymore. I know I've done stupid shit like that in the past, but I don't want to be that person anymore. I just want to talk about what we got going on here. Now, if somebody mentions me, I'll talk about it. But there's no reason for that to ever happen, so. On urban places here in the Philippines, condos are in their all-time low as we got a surplus. But why would you want to buy a space in a building than your own house and lot? Yeah. Like, the problem we have now is that apartments here that are like studios, and if you guys don't know what a studio is, it is a literal one-room apartment. It's like one giant room meant for one person to live in. You have a bed, you do have a bathroom that you can close the door on, and then you have a kitchen area that's right next to where the bed is. So you basically get a living room, a bedroom, and a kitchen all in one big room, and then one corner of the studio is a bathroom where you can actually close the door and get some privacy. Apartments like that, depending on where you live, can be upwards of $1,500 a month now. Sometimes even more if you live in an expensive area. Like San Francisco, you have to pay like $3,000 a month for a fucking place like that. A place that's like a couple hundred square feet, like fucking tiny apartments are insanely expensive now. Yeah, I'm not making that up either. That's totally normal thing that you would see. Everyone is starting to move out because they realize it gets really crowded fast when it's all mountains and deserts, so maybe I'll be able to buy a house in my lifetime. They also realize it's not as safe out here as it used to be. I mean, I live in a very affordable area, and I'll just say it, we pay like $1,200 a month for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. It's insane, dude. But we have no options. Like, anywhere we move would essentially be a lateral move. We would not be paying significantly less, and like the amount that it would cost us to move, like we especially would be losing money once we factor in like getting a U-Haul and moving all the shit and like signing a new lease and putting down a new security deposit. Like it's just not worth it, you know? It's not worth the fucking headache, so we just have to take the cost. It's insane, but it is what it is. And the rent's only going to go up. Like, it's not coming back down anytime soon. So we might be in a world where in a couple of years, like, we might be paying $1,500 for this exact same apartment. And here's the really crazy part. Here, sorry. Let me permit you, dude core. Sorry, any links that aren't YouTube or Twitch. There you go. Now you can post it. This is considered housing in NYC. Well, the fact that it says sidewalk shed. What? That's considered housing? You gotta be fucking kidding me. You're serious? I was gonna say, like, they're not charging for this, are they? When I bought my house, my payment was $750 a month. Due to increased local taxes, it shot up to $1,500. Dude, what I was gonna say, Dave, is I've heard it from a lot of very wealthy streamers that if they were to leave their house and re-sign at the current rates, they wouldn't be able to afford their own fucking house. And we're talking about successful content creators. We're talking about people who maintain 3,000 plus subs on Twitch a month. So they bring in like 6K a month on Twitch, and they have a like 500,000 plus sub YouTube channel to go along with it to supplement that income. If they were to leave their home and re-sign at the rates that are out in the market right now, they wouldn't be able to afford their own homes. How fucked up is that, dude? So the only way, and even if, like you were saying, even if you bought your house 10 years ago, the taxes are still going to make the monthly payment shoot way the fuck up. Yours has over doubled. So it's like, dude, when is enough going to be enough? Like, when are we going to get to the point that people literally just can't afford this shit ever? Well, we're kind of getting there now. And what's happening is companies like BlackRock are just buying up all the houses. Now, of course, they made a Twitter post that's like, guys, we're not doing this. But there's an actual paper trail proving that they are, in fact, buying houses. So they're like, there's these billion-dollar companies, like Fortune 500 companies, maybe even trillion-dollar companies, I don't know, but they're incredibly wealthy. And they're buying up a bunch of family homes for some reason. I have no idea why. So they're just scooping up a ton of real estate, but anyways, I don't want to get into that conversation. I'm not even saying that's good or bad. I don't know enough about it to speak on it, but it's certainly not contributing to the housing problem when a rich company like that is able to buy them and a regular person like me is not. So of course they're going to keep the prices high because the billion-dollar companies can pay for it, and it's a vicious cycle. So yeah, like, and what are you going to do, Dave? Like, if you get a letter in the mail that says, hey, your new monthly bill is this, what are you supposed to do? Dispute it? You can't dispute it. It's taxes, you know? Like, our apartment complex actually recently got taken over by new ownership, and thankfully our rent only went up like $80. But when we tried to re-sign last year, basically, if we were to leave and come back to this apartment, we'd probably be paying like $1,600 a month for this same unit. And I'm not even making that up either. I am not making it up. Yeah, you have no recourse at all. What are you supposed to do? I want to renegotiate my mortgage. No, they're going to say, go fuck yourself. This is your new rate. Leave or pay it. Pay it or you get evicted. Or your house gets repossessed or whatever. Real estate and land is the only real investment at the end of the day. True. That's a good point. It's crazy though, man. I try not to think too much about this shit because it just puts me in a negative headspace, but like, I just turned 30 a few months ago, and like, there's just little to no chance that I'll ever be able to afford a house unless there's a massive housing market crash. Like, what are we supposed to do? And no, I'm not sitting here saying that I hope there's a housing market crash, because I realize what happened in like 2008 when that happened for a lot of people, and a ton of people lost a lot of money. I don't want that to happen. I'm just saying we literally would not be able to afford a house unless it happened. It's that fucked up right now. So, and I've been hearing since like 2019, oh, the bubble's gonna burst. You know, it's a seller's market right now. Yeah, that's the crazy thing, Dave. If you sign like a 25-year mortgage, for example, you pay on it for 23 years. You know, you're 2 years out from finishing that shit up. You got like maybe 10,000 left to pay on it. Doesn't matter. You don't get a cent of that equity back. The bank just keeps it all, including interest. Doesn't matter. You could pay 24 months and like, or 24 years and 6 months. But if you get injured and you can't make payments in the last 6 months, they take it all. You don't get a cent back. What a great system we have set up here. Yeah, so you basically just rented a home that you were supposed to eventually own and get no equity in it. Oh, and your credit score gets demolished too. Don't forget that. Because everything hinges on a credit score nowadays. You miss a student loan payment, credit score gets demolished. You miss a car payment, credit score gets demolished. Like they're all just waiting to take 100 points, 100 points here, 100 points there off your credit score as soon as they possibly can. It's fucked up, man. So, you know, literally the only people that can afford to buy houses right now are legit just millionaires, where, you know, yeah, a house is an expensive investment, but you're talking like $300K to get like a 2-bed, 2-bath house, and they can just drop that money and then they just make the monthly payments. But unless you're a literal 1%er millionaire, it's virtually impossible right now to buy a house. Or if you're making 6 figures in a year, you might be able to afford it, but just barely. I think the threshold for being able to comfortably afford a house is making like 125K plus a year as a single. If you're a single income, you have to make like 125K plus a year to be able to afford like some of the mortgage payments out there. It's fucking insane, man. It really is. And that's why people are turning to these fucking gambling websites and these, you know, these crypto rug pulls and these crypto coins in general. Like, that's why people are turning to these methods, because shit's just rough out there right now, man. And that's why I feel so bad about like asking for donations and stuff. Like, I understand if people have expendable income and they want to support what you do, that's great. And I'm incredibly appreciative of everybody who has supported the stream and everything over the years, because it does help a lot. It really does. But I try not to make my problems your guys' problems. Like, I'm never going to sit here and talk about money problems on stream, because that's just not anything anybody wants to hear, and it's not your guys' problem to deal with. But, you know, that's just one of the reasons why I personally don't have like donation goals and stuff on my stream. Like, if something drastic were to happen, I might explore that as an option, just if I had no other choice. But I try to avoid that, because I just want this to be about not worrying about bullshit like that. And I know you know, you guys have your own shit to worry about just like I do. So yeah, you have to throw your hobbies out the window, because once you get into a job that pays that much, you're pretty much not going to have time for anything else. Like, if I moved up enough in my company to make that kind of money, there's no way in hell I would be able to stream even 3 times a week, because I would basically be on call 24/7. You know what I mean? Like, I just literally wouldn't be able to stream ever. I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's just the reality of it. Because usually once you get into positions like that, you have a work phone. You essentially have to be available at all times, all hours of the night. You know, systems could go down, and then you have to jump on an emergency call at fucking 4 a.m, because if you don't, then in the morning, a lot of your clients are going to have issues. You just never know what that could entail. So, you know, if it ever got like really bad, if things financially ever got really, really bad, then yeah, I might start to hyper focus on the YouTube side of things and trying to grow as much as I possibly can. Like, consistently posting is the best way to grow on YouTube, and that's literally what I need to do. I just need to consistently post as much as possible. I need to get my clips on TikTok. I need to get my clips everywhere, because that's how you grow. It is. Like, that's just the reality of it. And, you know, if there ever became a need for that sort of thing, then yeah, I would do it. But, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's a tough conversation. I don't really know what to say about it. But shit's rough. That's all I will say. Shit's rough for everybody right now, man. It really is. I do not know. Like, I go to the grocery store sometimes and I just look at the prices of food and I'm like, dude, how the fuck do some people make it? Seriously. You look at like 1 pound of ground beef is like $10 fucking now, if not more. Like sometimes 1 pound of grass-fed ground beef is like $11 fucking. And I'm like, dude, how do people make it with these prices? I don't get it. We're only lucky because we don't have kids. But if we did have kids, I don't think we'd be able to afford things. Yeah, I mean, that's bare minimum, dude. Like that's absolute bare minimum. You know, if you splurge, you're easily going to be spending like $400 or $500 a month on food, if not more. Yeah, $10 ground beef. Yep, where I live, that is the case, Blake. Sorry, I just got your message, Blake. I'm not used to seeing the YouTube name. Sorry, I just recently started multi-streaming to YouTube, so. Yeah, like, and there's like everything in the world is starting to introduce these pay in for, not schemes, because it's not like it's a scam, but you know, like every business in the world is partnering with like Klarna and ZipPay and all these different programs to offer people pay in for solutions because nobody can afford shit right now. It's like you need service on your car, you know, you can go to like, what is it called? Jiffy Lube. If you need service done on your car, you can go to like a fucking Jiffy Lube and get $400 worth of service done, sign a piece of paper, and they'll sign you up for 4 payments of $100 with a credit check. It's insane, man. That everything is paying for now. Everything. Because nobody can afford stuff all at once. Yeah, there's like car subscriptions. There's gaming PC subscriptions now where you get a gaming PC from like NZXT and you pay $50 a month to keep it. And by the time you end up paying it off, you will have paid like six fucking $1,000 because of all the interest and stuff. So we're basically moving in. Something will collapse at some point. It's gonna have to. What's up, Quesadilla? Haircut subscriptions, yeah. It's insane, man. Everything is moving into live service subscription-based models where you don't own anything, and it's kind of freaky to watch. Like, you know, I don't want to say they, like there's some faceless entity that wants you to do these things, but economically it feels like every industry is moving toward, oh, let's just let people rent things, or let's let them, you know, pay a subscription or a monthly membership to these things. Do you mean the Silent Hill 2 remake? Because if so, yeah, I loved it. The new Switch 2 you don't own. Yeah, isn't it like if you modify it, they can remotely brick it and prevent you from being able to use it? How fucked up is that, dude? So basically, you've purchased our hardware, but if you use the hardware that you've paid for in a way that we don't approve of, we will remotely brick your console and make sure you never get to use it again. Wow, certainly nothing immoral there. Yes, I really did like Silent Hill 2 Remake. It was really good. I gave it an 8 out of 10, and I was very, very critical of it before it came out. So for it to get an 8 out of 10 was a lot for me. Pay a subscription to skip in brain Taco Bell ads before bed. Yeah. I just don't know how some people make it, man. I really don't. I mean, I really don't. A pizza out of 10? Like entry-level jobs, especially. I know there's this whole conversation right now about, like, you know, raising the minimum wage. But the thing is, if you raise the minimum wage, that's just going to make everything incredibly expensive. Portable water subscription is hell, a Blade Runner dystopia. Yeah. Like, if the minimum wage jumps up to like $17 an hour, you're going to go to the grocery store and see a gallon of milk for like $12. Genuinely. Like, the cost of everything is just going to go up. It's just going to scale up. That's one of the reasons why like I'm okay to be the age that I am, because I've been working for 12 plus years, and I can like I've worked my way up in the industry that I'm in. But it's like if I were in basically any position that was like considered entry level, it would basically be impossible to afford stuff. It's insane how stuff is nowadays. But I'm not sitting here trying to be negative. Like, I'm very thankful for the opportunities that I have and stuff like that. I'm not sitting here trying to be negative. I promise that. It's a lot, man. Also, the people getting paid above minimum get no benefit at all, so the prices will just go up, making them struggle more too. Yeah, it's like if minimum wage became $17 overnight, that wouldn't suddenly make the things that they're already struggling to afford any easier to afford. They would still have the same problem. It's just the number would be higher, So yeah, like Pitt said, I mean, something is going to have to give eventually, dude. Like this trend, we are definitely in a bubble right now, and it's about to burst big time. Either the housing market's going to have to crash, or, the fucking food market is going to have a big crash. I don't know what's going to happen, but something is going to happen soon. And I'm not saying this to be, wages haven't kept up with inflation. That's a big problem. There's a lot of compounding issues for which there has been no solution. And these issues have been going on for years and years and years and years. Yeah, decades at this point. Left unattended, and now we're dealing with the consequences of leaving them unattended, and it's insane. Like private companies and even public companies are having to do cost of living raises for like all of their employees every single year now, and they used to be able to do that every 4 or 5 years. Now they're having to do it every single year. At some point, essential costs reach a point where a good income is not enough. Yeah, and it's like, what's going to happen at that point? Like, how do we reconcile, and how do we come to a conclusion? I don't know what that looks like, but it's crazy to think about. We don't. So we just get like a massive recession or something, the way that it happened in 2008. Crime will increase. Hasn't that already happened? Like theft in certain areas has increased a lot. I've been seeing stuff on YouTube about that. From like reputable news orgs, not just from randos. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't know what that looks like, but we're definitely on what you could call like a slippery slope, so to speak, and unfortunately things are going to have to get worse before they get better. I've seen it happen here. Crime is down. Oh, across the board, yeah, I think it is. It's just in very particular areas. Like, I'm in Mexico noticing they graduate doctors with no debt, Chinese and French cars, bike lanes, and rail and trains all over, and I know we're getting fucked over in the USA. Yeah. The 90s were the highest rates. Yeah, in the 90s, didn't the government run a surplus? Like, the budget? They ran a fucking surplus. They weren't even in debt in the 90s. I think in most of the 80s, too, they weren't in debt. That's insane. Yeah, like we weren't in any debt at all in the 90s. That's crazy, man. And then we think about the fact that we're like fucking $20+ trillion in debt now. Oh, 36, excuse me. Yeah, we're in $36 trillion of debt. Well, that's fun. I like how there's a fucking website that keeps track of it. Yeah, and I also think that this is a different kind of nightmare fuel than usual. Yeah, but I mean, I'm trying not to get too political with it because that's not really my point. My point is just that shit's rough, you know? That's my overall point, is just shit's rough in America right now. Rougher than some people might realize. Yes, just a single trillion is a comically large amount of money, so consider 36, and that's 999. That's basically 1,000 billions is $1 trillion. So 36 of those is such a comically large and fucking insane amount of debt. It's just unfathomably large, dude. And you know, I just see like everyday stuff. Like, it's just everything feels so incredibly... Somebody made a post about this a while back, and it's so true. They're basically like, whenever you travel outside of the US, you understand how much of a scam everything in the US feels like. Like when you go down the street of any major city in the US, and you go into a store and you pay prices for things like clothes, you know, electronics, it always feels like you're getting ripped off in one way or another. But in other countries, it doesn't feel that way. Like people specifically talk about Japan, and they talk about a lot of countries in Europe don't feel that way. But in America, everything just feels like, you know, everyone under the sun is trying to rip you off with high prices. And I agree. Like, it's basically gotten to the point that even in some of the most affordable areas of the US, like, you know, I know Austin, Texas is a very affordable area. Like, you know, the South, what you would call like the Bible Belt, is a really affordable area. Even in areas like that, basically, if you leave your house to go anywhere and do anything, you are basically going to end up spending like $100, kind of like Siren said. If you go anywhere to get food, if you go anywhere to buy clothes, if you go anywhere to buy electronics, anything, you're basically going to be spending $100. As soon as you step outside your door, you'll be spending about $100. It's fucking crazy, man. Oh yeah, isn't it because of like Joe Rogan and a bunch of other people live in Austin now, and I know a bunch of streamers live there? Like basically a shit ton of people from the LA and California in general area moved into Austin, Texas, and made it a really expensive place to live now. Yes, I lived in China, and while yes, the country has problems, it's eye-opening to see a lot of systematic hardships in America that simply don't exist on the other side of the world. Yeah. And it's like, I don't claim to act like I live a tough life or anything. Like, I'm very lucky to be in the position that I am, and like we are able to afford things. But I tell you, man, there's some months where we gotta fucking budget hardcore, or we wouldn't be able to. And and I promise I'm not saying that to like dark side Phil you guys. I'm not. I'm just being honest. I understand that things could certainly be worse. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's just the truth of the matter, you know. Yeah, as soon as people find out a place is cheap, its days are numbered. Anymore, it's like 5 years, yeah. Austin, Texas was like that for a long time. A ton of Twitch streamers moved there, like OTK, the whole like streaming organization, OTK, all moved to Austin, Texas. They were originally in like, they were all over the place, but a bunch of them were in LA. Joe Rogan moved there, like he moved his studio and everything to Austin, Texas, and he has like a comedy club there where a bunch of big famous comedians go, and a bunch of them live around there now, I think. So, yeah. Kind of like what you said, like whenever people find out a place is cheap and it has like all the modern amenities, like fiber internet and all that type of shit, like food delivery apps. If people find out a place is cheap to live, give it about 5 years, all the rich people will move in, and then it won't be cheap anymore. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's crazy times for sure. Like, and there was also that stat about like how many people have savings. Like, something like 70% of people in the US can't afford to even have any type of savings account right now. I look at stuff like that and I'm like, holy shit, man, that is insane. And yes, I'm sure a lot of that comes down to people just not being able to budget and stuff, but not all of it. You know, I'm sure some of it comes from shit just being really expensive. These aren't new problems. No, they're definitely not new problems. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's just something I've noticed has certainly precipitously gotten worse over the past several years. You know, if you think too much about it, obviously you just kind of fucking go insane. But yeah. The biggest saving grace I've got right now is I have like $3,500 left to pay on my car. And then once that's over, I finally don't have a high-ass car payment every month. That's going to help tremendously. So once I get that shit knocked out, I'm good. But yeah, that's been difficult balancing that on top of everything else. Historically, that happens until something breaks, then things get reset in some way. Yeah, that's what happened in 2008. We had that big-ass recession. Now, I was too young to understand what was going on. Actually, was it 2008 or 2009 when the housing market collapsed? I think it was 2009, actually. Yeah, I was too young to know what the fuck was going on. I was just sitting in my room eating fucking Cheetos and playing Modern Warfare 2. But yeah, 2008, yeah. But I know that basically everybody involved in real estate lost an ungodly amount of money in that. Like if you were a real estate broker, if you were a property manager of any kind, you lost a ton of money when that happened. And then wasn't it like the whole thing about banks being too big to fail? I remember that being a big talking point at the time where they essentially just bailed out the banks with trillions of dollars. Because had they not done that, it literally would have like shattered the economy. So they were forced to do it. I remember that being a big talking point. But post 2008, we spent like crazy with practically 0% interest rates. Yeah. But yeah, I tell you, man, I cannot fucking wait. I cannot fucking wait to be done paying on this car. I only have like 6 months of payments left, and then that will actually help out a ton. I've seriously thought about just pulling an absolutely ungodly amount of overtime and just throwing every spare penny I can at the shit just to get it out of my life as quick as possible. Just grind on here, honestly. I mean, I could do that. That's not a bad idea. It's just that, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough because, like I said, I have my own personal feelings about like asking for any kind of contributions and stuff like that. I've always had that problem. I think it's just the way I was raised. Just taught to be very self-sufficient. So, but I understand. Like sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. But it's just a me thing, you know? And I think I also come from that era of YouTube and Twitch where everybody and everything was labeled an e-beggar. And I just never wanted that label to be ascribed to me, you know? IDK, we aren't run well as a society. That's the unfortunate truth. Oh, 100%. I don't think anybody that's in reality would say otherwise. It seems like only very disconnected people with their head in the sand would say that everything's great right now. And then you look and you find out they're like some Nepo baby with like a gold, not even a silver spoon, a golden spoon in their mouth where anytime they need money, their parents can just give them thousands. It's like, yeah, I'm sure it probably does feel great to you. But for us that actually have to work for a living, growing up is doing what you must for your family and never regretting any of it. Want to see your channel explode, really? I would love, obviously I would love for that to happen. I just, I don't know, man. It's tough. I don't want to get into a whole conversation about it, but it's just a me thing. Maybe I should just get the fuck over it and just do like a donation goal and just see what happens, because who knows? Maybe I just got to get the fuck over it, you know? tariffs. Appreciate that, dude. Core. Dark stamp. No. Dark side stamp is not coming. Absolutely not. Appreciate that, dude. Core. Dude, I haven't heard that sound in a while. It freaks me out every time I do. But no, I would certainly love to see my channel explode too, but you know. Oh, that's not what you meant. No. And you know, I've said this before, but like when I first started streaming on Twitch, which was 2013, even asking for donations was cringe. Even running ads was considered cringe back then. It's just the era that I came up in, you know, on the internet. I understand things are way different now, and it's not that people are shameless, because I don't think that there's really shame in it. Like you said, you got to do what you got to do. But I just think that the mentality about supporting streamers is way, way, way different nowadays. Nobody thinks the way that I think about it anymore, so I don't really understand why I have that. It's just a me thing, you know? It's just a stubbornness that I've got. A way you could go about it is to give people an incentive to donate. Like if you reach a goal, you do a challenge run or something. That way it would feel less like I want money and more like a community effort to reach a cool stream. Yeah, that's true. Like one thing that I would love to do is a stream where I just suffer playing like Evil Within Akumu, you know? Like stuff like that. I mean, but you have to genuinely do it, because obviously if a goal is reached and you don't do it, you look like a piece of shit. So that's the number one thing. It's like, don't ever set up a goal that you're not 100% willing to do. So it's something you gotta do. These people deserve the truth about Silent Hill. You would be doing people a service by getting bigger. Or you could just tell them if you donate, you get a first-hand feeling of being robbed for real. If you ever want to feel like you're being scammed, just send me a donation. I got you. Yeah, dude. That'll teach them. That's so fucking hilarious. I mean, that's just like being 100%. You could go the opposite end of like all these streamers that try to obfuscate what money is, and they'll say things like support or contributions. You know how people, they don't just want to say the word money. They want to use these euphemisms for money by saying things like support, contributions. It helps me run this channel. You know what I mean? So you could just go in the complete opposite direction where you're just 100% leaning into it and being bold and just saying like, give me money. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to use it on, but give me money. You know what I mean? What if somebody just went 100% fucking shameless with it? That'd be crazy. I tell you, there's some streamers out there that get pretty close, and you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. Some of them are like one word away. Something kind of messed up is both my GF and I would be pretty good at streaming, but we have weird hang-ups about it with each other. Dude, I have a lot of hang-ups about it too. I've had some fucking people in here that sounded like they were trying to dox me before. You know? And that was my biggest hang-up, like when I had a YouTube video that kind of popped off and got 130 something K views. I kind of had this freak out moment where I was like, do I even want to be on the internet anymore? Like, is somebody going to try to dox me? And that's part of the reason why I kind of went quiet on YouTube for a while. Oh, we've had our fair share of that too, but I'm totally fine with people saying whatever they want. Donate so I can complain about not working and sustain my life that you wish you had, but you have to work to pay me. Good God. That'd be the most shameless fucking read ever, dude. Yeah. Fucking just full shameless mode about it, dude. That's insane. The Phil in a nutshell. Absolutely, man. But Phil is like Schrodinger, dude. Like, he wants support all the time and acts like he's going to be bankrupt if he doesn't get it. But then he'll turn around and brag about how much money he has and say that he's not poor. So it's like, which is it, dude? Are you going to go broke if you have one bad stream, or are you fine? Like, you need to, it can't be both. It has to be one or the other, dude. Fuck are you on about? How about Stamp Advice Hour? Oh, you mean you guys giving me advice? Hey, I'm happy to hear it. Or the other way around. Prepaid streams. Oh god. You know one that really pisses me off is when people try to make their viewers pay to have them turn the camera on. No, me giving advice. Well, what advice would I give? You can't stream unless you hit the goal. That's just scummy. I would never do that. But there are some streamers that like they'll just put this really shitty they'll put this really shitty animated like MS Paint doodle version of themselves, and the viewers have to donate like $100 before they turn the fucking camera on. Like, that is so scummy, dude. Fuck that. I'm obnoxiously humble. What do you mean by that? Saying I can't give advice and stuff? I just don't know if I'm qualified, depending on what it is, you know? That's all it is. But no, I think that, I think I probably should stop having that stubbornness about me and just do it. You know, if people want to criticize me, I can say, hey, like, dude, criticize the other millions of streamers that do it. I'm gonna see if we could do prepaid streams for real. Look, what we could do is we could get a list together of things that you guys want me to do, where it's like me absolutely suffering playing an extremely hard game, watching something that's incredibly long or obnoxious, whatever it is. We could come up with a list of stuff, and then what we could do is come up with like incentives for it, you know? Village of Shadows. Yeah, like Village of Shadows, no New Game Plus items. You're gonna pay me for content ideas? a consultancy fee. Play through my dad's Steam library. Good God. Questionable. Let him play God of War. It's on PC now, isn't it? Genital jousting. What the fuck? Dave's idea takes the cake. Well, that would, first of all, that would have to be off Twitch. That ain't fucking happening on Twitch. Nor YouTube. Because that shit is not happening. That would have to be like Discord streams with tons of disclaimers and like, see, that's why I couldn't do that. I would have to do a Discord stream with a ton of disclaimers saying like this game has adult content and shit, and I'm not going to do that. My Discord's not even labeled as NSFW, dude. We don't have any weird NSFW channels in my Discord for a reason, because I just don't want to deal with all that. But it is a fucked up idea. But, you know, something I was thinking of is like a new PC. Like, my PC is getting pretty old now, and I definitely can't just drop like fucking 3K on a new PC, especially as parts are getting more expensive. So that's definitely something else that I thought of, is like potentially crowdfunding a new PC. But again, you know, it's just one of those me things. I just got to work through it and try to do it in a way that I feel like is honest and not scammy. Because I just don't want to have just a number going up on the screen and then just telling you guys like I need this or that or the other. Yeah, because that's the thing. I don't need it particularly. It's just that to play like AAA brand new fucking games, I would have to eventually build a new PC. But I'd much rather get this fucking I'd much rather just get this fucking car payment out of my life and then just start saving up for it, you know? It'll be done before the end of the year. This shit'll be paid off before the end of the year, so. I got that car in May of 2019, so it was like a full 6 years we will have been paying on it. It's been 6 years as of this month since we got it. But yeah. Just money problems. Everybody's got them. I'm no exception. I just don't ever talk about it. I think the thing with PCs nowadays that really helps is NVENC, because you can actually just have your graphics card render your stream. It's not like it used to be where you almost had to have a 2PC setup back in the day, because X264 was the only encoder, and that was CPU based. So you kind of had to have like a dedicated 4-core i7 just to render your stream. And then you had to have a capture card running into it from your gaming PC. It was almost a requirement back then to stream in the best quality possible to have at least 2 PCs. But thankfully that's not the case anymore. You can do totally 100%. I mean, I stream off one PC ever. Right, and it's like I certainly don't want to discredit or act like my problems are any more relevant than anyone else's problems, because I know that's not the case. That's just part of the reason why I don't usually mention them, because it can come across that way, and I don't want it to come across that way. Some people have said I'm too diplomatic about things, and I think way too much before I say stuff. That's definitely true. But I would rather be that way than just throwing stuff out there. Yeah, absolutely. We're all struggling. We all got our own problems right now. So that's why I try not to make it a focal point of the stream ever to talk about them, because everybody's got shit going on. Nothing about it makes my situation any more unique or, you know. Yeah, you do have to be extra careful because there's people out there, what they call the clip baiters. Not clickbait, I call it clip baiting, where they try to get you to say something, and then if you can clip it in a very particular way, it can make you sound awful. You know, context, I know that word is so overused right now. Context is like the most overused word on the fucking internet, but it is very true that the context of something can like destroy you if a clip is bad enough. And that's why you have to very carefully consider what you say, because you never know when something you say could get clipped from somebody and fucking thrown on top of Twitter. It could get thrown onto LSF or whatever the fuck, and then the next thing you know, you got like 300 fucking messages from people all sharing your docs because they thought that you were being an asshole and didn't realize what you were actually talking about or what the context of the clip was. And a lot of people don't care. A lot of people straight up don't care what the context is. They've already come to their own conclusion, and they don't care what you have to say because they just think you're trying to make up excuses. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's why I try not to even be that serious, because most of the time shit is not that serious on stream, dude. We're just sitting here chilling, playing fucking really old horror games. So why would I behave that way, you know? But yeah, of course. I mean, I think I would love to see my channel grow. It's just, you know, my attention is kind of split right now. It's like, what do I focus on, YouTube or Twitch? Why does it have to be one or the other? Well, because I've had people ask me that, okay? I had someone I trust kind of reached out to me recently. It was like, dude, why does it always have to be one or the other? Like, why does it have to be Twitch or YouTube? The reality is, the reason why it has to be one or the other is because I work full time. There is simply not enough time in the day. There's just not enough time in the day for me to work full-time hours and do Twitch 3 times a week and work on YouTube as much as I would need to keep the channel going while also balancing everything else in my life. There is simply not enough time in the day to do that. My cat? No. It was somebody in the community that I've talked to a lot, but you know, and it's a valid question, but yeah, that's just the unfortunate reality of it. It's like there is just not enough time in the day for me to do that. It sucks, but I can't do it all. That's part of the reason why I started streaming on YouTube in the first place, is because before I was streaming on YouTube, I would have to export the VODs from Twitch and do all the thumbnails and do the titles and do all that shit. Like, I would have to manage. That was a whole separate thing I had to manage. I can't do that anymore. I don't have time. So if I were streaming and doing YouTube full time, this would be a whole other conversation. Yeah, like, and I agree with you. I think YouTube is where you actually grow nowadays. And I think Twitch, you just kind of bring an audience from another platform over to Twitch once you've already grown. So I think realistically, the smartest thing that I could do is just take an extended break, like a couple months off of streaming. And yeah, I mean, I've had YouTube videos that hit 40,000 views. I've had a YouTube video that hit 145,000 views. I've had a couple of audio videos that have hit 10K. One's hit 13K. Like, the potential is definitely there. There's no doubt about it. So, like, most likely the smart thing for me to do is just to take a break from streaming. I know everybody will be understanding about it, and just spend like 2 solid months grinding out all the possible videos that I could. Yeah, 1.2K. Well, it's 1.13 thousand subs. But I'm able to monetize if I just get a little bit more watch hours. So if I get my watch hours up by like 100 or so by uploading more consistently, then I'd be able to monetize my YouTube channel, which will be huge for me. Like, if I were monetized when the Silent Hill Community Needs to Stop video went up, that would have been insane. So, I think that's what I should do, man. I really do. I think I'm probably just going to have to take an extended break from streaming, unfortunately, and just work my absolute fucking ass off to grow my YouTube channel. And then just kind of go live whenever I get a chance, you know, in between that. And it's just one of those things that I've had a tough time coming to terms with because I love streaming so much. But I think you're right, Siren. I think I gotta make a decision, and I gotta stick to it. And if things don't work out, I can always come back to streaming. It's not like this isn't an option. All I gotta do is click the start streaming button and we're back, you know? But I have all the equipment to make it work. I've got, why not stream when you're editing? The only reason why is because I have to use OBS to get clips. And so if I already have OBS open streaming, it's going to be tough for me to record clips at the same time to throw into the video editor. And it also would be really easy to leak stuff because I'm having to use like my personal browsers and things to access the different websites and get the clips that I need. So if I could find a way to do it that's realistic, then I could potentially do that, but I would have to see. The other thing is Adobe Premiere video editing is very, very resource intensive. You basically need 64 plus gigabytes of RAM to render out videos in any like timely fashion. So running Adobe Premiere and OBS, it is a lot of resources on your computer. So yeah, I would need like a fucking just monster of an editing rig to be able to do both. If I was going to make like 4K fucking, super high production value videos, but I don't. I just make simply edited videos. I just have gotten incredibly lucky with a couple of them, But no, I definitely think that's what I'm going to do. I think, I'm just going to have to basically select a date, select a time, and just say, look, guys, I'm just going to have to go dark as far as Twitch goes for the next X amount of time. And I'm just going to put out as much YouTube content as I possibly can. Some of it may be very simply edited, but hey, everybody else edits their shit simply too. Most like very large successful YouTube channels now, it's literally just this. It's people sitting in front of a camera, talking to you about something, and then they will occasionally stitch in gameplay footage that they're also narrating over. It's like the most simply edited shit ever. Like, everybody's working smarter and not harder nowadays. So all this fancy transitions and really nice editing and stuff, it's not even needed. Like, there's probably 4 or 5 channels I could pull up right now where people have 800,000 plus subs and are doing this shit full time. And all they do is click start recording and talk to you. And then they play some gameplay and talk to you. And then like, that's what you're saying. Like, everybody watches stuff in the background now. That's very true. That's why audio is way more important than video nowadays. So if you just consistently post videos that people kind of click and gel with and agree with what you're saying, you can do really, really well. So I think I just need to bite the bullet and just throw all this information out there and stop worrying about how fancy things are edited. Oh yeah, and also Iris, she mentioned to me I need to put my clips on TikTok. That's a good point, because you never know when one stupid meme gameplay clip you upload could be like the start of your career. Like, there's been so many examples of like one clip blowing up and then somebody like their Twitch following, like they do like 6x or 7x the follower count in one night, and then all of a sudden they just have a community because one clip blew up, you know what I mean? So you never know when that could happen. Or when a super huge streamer could stumble across your clip and watch it, you know? Yeah, that's the most unfortunate part, dude. Like, I fucking hate social media so much. I hate Twitter. I hate Blue Sky. I hate every single app that's like that. It doesn't matter what it is. I hate every single one. But you're not wrong. But I think the only thing that I would use it for is just to say, hey, I uploaded a video. Here's the video. You know what I mean? I would not reply to people, really. I wouldn't post my opinions about current events or fucking celebrities or anything like that. I would basically just say, hey, I uploaded a video, here it is. That's all I would use it for. Yeah. So I'm Parappa. Well, anyways, that's the main point. That's the main point I want to get into, is just like, I hate saying it, guys, but the reality is I'm going to have to take a break from Twitch in order to make this happen. I'm going to have to set aside all my other responsibilities outside of the gym and video editing and Bridget, obviously, and my cats and everything. Like, basically, I was talking about this last stream. When I was in college, or when I was in high school, we were about to graduate high school, and we had this really cool teacher. Not going to say his name, obviously. We had this really cool teacher who was trying to teach us about like how to manage your time in college, because he knew we were about to be in college. And he draws this big pyramid, this big triangle on the screen. It wasn't 3D. He drew a triangle. And he circled the 3 points of the triangle. And he said, one of them is college, as in your schoolwork. One of them is friends, and one of them is sleep. You can pick two, but you can't have three. He's like, that's the decision you're going to have to make when you get into college. You can either have schoolwork and friends, but no sleep, or you can have schoolwork and sleep, but no friends, or you can have sleep and friends, but your grades are going to slip. He's like, you can't have all three. And that's kind of the situation that I'm in right now, where real life is the top of the triangle, Twitch is the bottom right corner, and YouTube is the bottom left. I can only have two. I can't have three. So unfortunately, Twitch is going to have to take the axe, because like growth on YouTube, I think, is far more important, because if I'm able to grow YouTube, then, you know, naturally the streams will grow along with it. You know what I mean? Because you have to upload for growth. You can't just stream on Twitch for infinite hours, because that Twitch just doesn't really facilitate growth. It just doesn't. So, you know, I have this fear of like disappointing people a little bit, not like an irrational fear. I just don't want people to be like, oh, I miss your streams and everything like that, because I would miss them too. I fucking love doing it. But it's like at a certain point, you know, I'm not getting any younger. I have the ability to do this now. I really kind of need to do this now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would just have to upload as much as I possibly could about everything I've ever wanted to make a video about, and everything I find interesting, and everything that I wanted to talk about, and just kind of see where that takes us, you know, as far as this community and everything else. And I would still be around in the Discord. It's not like I'm just going to completely go dark, you know. So I would still be around in the Discord talking, and you know, I'd be in the voice channels. We could still do watch parties and stuff. So yeah. Oh yeah, and that would also allow me to bring back the podcast, like the Stamp of Approval podcast. If we grow things enough over there, I could start to get like really interesting guests. I know that if I were to send him a message right now, he would say no because he is a very busy guy, but I would love to have like an Eternal Enigma on my podcast so we could talk about Silent Hill and wrestling. Like me and him have that in common. We fucking love Silent Hill. We love wrestling. I feel like that'd be a great episode. I'd love to sit down and talk to him. But the thing is, you have to respect your guest's time. And respecting your guest's time sometimes means paying them, because if they're spending 2 hours talking to you when they could be spending 2 hours making money on Twitch, it's obvious which that they're going to choose, and you can't take that personally. So, you know, I know if I were to shoot him a message right now, he'd be like, yeah, I can't, you know, I don't really want to do that. And I couldn't take it personally because he'd be 100% right to say that. But I feel like if I were to grow things and then come back later on and say like, hey, would you want to do this? I think, you know, the chances of it being a cool collaboration would be a lot higher if, you know, there was more eyes on the channel at that point. But there's a lot of other people. There's a lot of other people that I've wanted to have on and talk to, and I think would make really great episodes. But you got to have the eyes, you know. Your channel is a billboard and you have to use it that way. That's just the way you have to think of it. It's the way you secure brand deals. It's the way you get guests on your show. It's the way you make connections. It's the way you network, is by your channel having a larger billboard and more eyes on it. That's how you do. That's success on YouTube in all facets comes from your subscriber count being higher. It's just the reality of it. There's nothing scummy about it. It's just the game. It's just the game you play as a content creator. So, yeah, that's my dilemma. Ideas for the next video after the one with Future. Oh, I've already got I've got probably about 10 video ideas. Genuinely, I've got about 10 video ideas. Like, all I would have to do is go into my Adobe Premiere and just start working. Like, that's all I would have to do. But I have about 10 that I want to make. A couple that are music related, a couple that are Silent Hill related, a couple that are Resident Evil related, a couple that are Dead Rising related. There's a lot. So, and that's not even scratching the surface. Like, I have a whole fucking notebook full of video ideas that I had years ago that I've only executed probably fucking 2% of them, you know? And I still want there to be a certain aspect of my channel with stream tutorial stuff, like teaching people how to use mics, teaching people how to use headphones, teaching people how to use mixers, and all these things that I've spent 5 fucking years messing with and have kind of figured it all out on my own at this point. I'd like to impart a little bit of that knowledge for somebody just coming into this that maybe doesn't know what your bitrate should be at and doesn't know what encoding settings to use and doesn't know what mixers they should buy for the SM7B, which ones have enough preamp gain and which ones need a mic activator or a cloud lifter to go. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of information I'd like to impart, especially for users of this mic or the other gear that I use. So I would also like for that to be another aspect of my channel. But I'm not going to do this thing where I like make 6 channels. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, there are certain things I can give advice about. Just the scope is very narrow. That's the only point I was trying to make. When it comes to stream gear, I can definitely give advice because I've done it so much. But the scope of what I can give advice on, I feel like, is very narrow. What it comes down to is sirens always right. And you know what? Isn't that just the meaning of Christmas at the end of the day? Exactly, Dr. Ed. We should make a whole video about the health benefits of chalky milk. And, you know, maybe, how about this, you guys? What if we make it a thing where the streams are strictly on the weekends when I don't work? And throughout the week, like here's a way that I could potentially keep all 3. No streams during the week. I just do my full-time job and then I work on YouTube after I finish my full-time job throughout the week. And then I can go to the gym on those days as well. And then on the weekends, I go to the gym first thing in the morning and I do Twitch streams like the one that I did with Future where we watch videos. And, you know, so that would be a way that we could potentially keep both going, is if I only stream on days that I don't work. And if I work that day, I also work on YouTube. I feel like that's a way that we could potentially keep all 3 of them going. It just unfortunately would reduce my ability to stream to like twice a week, but at least we could still do it. And maybe it could only be every other weekend. I don't know. That's something we would have to just trial. There's no way to do it other than to just trial it and see how it works, you know? So, but I think it's in my best interest, like I said, to just kind of take a break from Twitch. Not the biggest deal in the world. I've been streaming consistently since fucking late 2019. So, it is what it is. We'll figure it out together. But, I think the weather's starting up here. With that being said, guys, I obviously will post any updates that I come up with in the Discord. So if you want to join that Discord, there it is. But I'll basically let you guys know. Like, I'll kind of ruminate on it tonight and just think about what I want to do. And then I'll make a decision tomorrow and I'll post about it. So we'll figure that out. It's only positive changes from here. There's the couple YouTube channels. Do a raid so I get more points. Who's on right now? Oh, our boy Bevel is on playing some DBD. Here. Let's go say hello to Bevel, you guys. Yeah, he's playing some Dead by Daylight. So with that being said, I'm going to break the chains on room 302 and get up out of here in 3, 2, 1.